What's going on, everybody? Vuo here, back with a brand new episode of Umineko When They Cry. Last time on, we saw kind of more details on kind of the sort of events of episode 1, a little bit, very similar events, as we saw Kinzo throwing his precious head's ring out the window, as Beatrice managed to grab it due to help of a new servant of hers that we found out, Nove, which is a brand new character who I have no idea who he is, even though Beatrice claims that he's one of the 72 devils of hell or whatever, and he's a very, fickle man or whatever. But I recognize his VA immediately. The reason why is because his VA actually voiced Joseph Joestar from JoJo Part 2, which was personally my first anime ever was the JoJo series. And also I would recognize him as Katakuri from One Piece. And by God, I can't believe I caught that. Oh, Joseph Joestar's VA. That's so funny. He better have some English lines in this game, because we've been hearing a bit of English lines in this episode so far. So I hope I hear a couple from him, such as, "Oh my God," or "Nigado." God, I love Joseph. Joseph's one of the best Joestars. Whatever, but that's cool and everything. We moved into the adults to see what they were doing, and they were kind of theorizing about who this Beatrice character really is. And we learned a couple of interesting details, specifically about Kinzo, is that when they were younger, Kinzo would usually disappear, and nobody would be able to find him for, a couple hours, but he would just always reappear in a place. So that's a very interesting, thing to take note of. So they theorized that perhaps Kinzo had devised a hidden mansion within the island of Wokenjima to house this Beatrice, his concubine, his, kind of wife in his own eyes, within the forests of Wokenjima, which is very interesting. He also, guys, told me that another cool detail about the kind of writing of these games is that Ryokushio 7 includes a lot of fan theories within these games, as as we kind of saw there with the adults. Probably there were actual fans that probably devised the theory of, what if Kinzo is hiding the human Beatrice within, a hidden mansion on Wokenjima. Same thing with the Alien Fury stuff back in Higurashi as well, that came from fan responses, which it's just such a cool detail. It's a very cool detail that it's actually including fan responses within the game itself, but it also makes sense in universe. If actual people came up with this, actual fans that are trying to solve the mysteries of, the When They Cry series, it would make sense that the characters within the stories themselves would also come up with these types of theories as well, since, they're, humans in their universe or whatever, which I feel like just adds more, realism to these characters and makes them feel fleshed out of, they're able to come up with these theories on their own. It's a cool parts, little Easter egg for the fans of oh my God, that's a theory I came up with when episode 2 was out or whatever. And also just cool parts of just adding more dimensions to these characters and making them feel very human, I have to say, which is very, very cool. Yeah, let's just get right into it. I got nothing else to say. Let's go.
魔女じゃなくベアトリーチェという名の愛人が島に存在していたわけか。
Oh, also, I fixed a problem, which my voice should be a little louder than the game, since last time there was a little audio problem. Hopefully it should be fixed by now, I hope. But I think it is by now, so.
つまり人間は18人以上いるということは18人全員に不可能だから魔法犯罪であるという図式は崩せるわけだ。これは大きい情報だぜ。
Yeah?
失礼いたします。
Oh my god, now I can hear Joseph. I can hear it now.
マトラ様、紅茶とクッキーはいかがですか?
Bito's butler, who called himself Wonove, appeared out of nowhere. The boy said on a silver tray that he held was filled with delicious-looking, steaming black tea and cookies. I really don't like this guy's smile. For some reason, it doesn't look like a smile used to warmly greet a guest. It feels like he's mocking me somehow. I don't know if he really takes me for an idiot, or if it's just a joke or something, but it's really irritating me.
いらねえよ。俺は今取り込み中なんだ。放っておいてくれ。おやおや。それは美味しく焼けたクッキーなのに、とても残念です。人間ごときにはもったいないくらいに素敵に焼き上がった。それは素敵なクッキーなのに。気が向いたら食ってやるぜ。その辺に置いて、とっととうせな。さようでございますか。
I don't want your damn cookies, you demon. Or you butler, whatever.
それでは、そのようにいたしますよ。冷めてからお召し上がりになって、焼きたてを召し上がらなかったことを存分に後悔なされると良いでしょう。いちいちうるさいやつだな。まあ、耳元で気色悪くケラケラ笑うベアトのやつよりゃ数段マシだがよ。
Keeps mocking me every 5 fucking seconds.
いえいえ、まったく。お嬢様の笑い声は時折実に品がありません。それを聞くたびに、なぜ私ほどの高貴な悪魔があのようなものを主にしなければならないのか、理解に苦しむのでございますよ。
It's so interesting because I know this voice actor from like two different characters of Katakuri and Joseph Joestar. But I feel like Wonove is actually kind of a mix between the two of them. The deepness of Katakuri and the kind of, what the hell? What do I describe Joseph's voice as? I don't know, shit eating. I don't know. There's always like a kind of smirk to Joseph's voice, if that's the right word to it, or whatever. And I feel like Wonove is actually kind of a mix between those two types of voices, which is actually very cool to notice for a guy like me whose most primary examples of this VA's work is Katakuri and Joseph.
変なやつだな。そんなに嫌なら使えなきゃいいだろうが。それでもなおお使いするのが家具の喜びなのでございますよ。それでなくては家具は務まりません。それはさておき、ゲームの方はいかがでございますか。先ほど良い情報を見つけたようなことを言われ、お喜びになられていたようですが。
I don't need to share that with you, Wonove, you dick.
さてさて、どのような朝知恵が思いついたやら。
As Wonove mocked me and giggled, he followed my earlier words wittily and placed the black tea and cookies in a random spot nearby.
お方、19人目の存在に自信を深めたからでございましょう。
Yeah.
よろしければ、ぜひご講説をお聞かせ願いますか。ああ、いいぜ。どうせベアトの前で改めて言うしな。隠す必要もないさ。
Also, someone else commented last episode about how Bad Wars sounds much like a player. Like, he actually does. Like, it's so interesting because, first of all, Bad Wars, the main character, of course, we're gonna, see from his point of perspective or whatever. That's what a protagonist does. But at the same time, his line of reasoning kind of follows the same wavelength as the audience, which is such a writing feat, really, of like being able to make the main character both, likable and, charming, as Battlewar is here, but at the same time as smart as the audience themselves, because Battlewar and the audience are working with the exact same information. And it just makes Battlewar a very unique main character in that sense. He's not just, charming as, the goofy pervert, 20-year-old or whatever. who has a heart of gold and has the fire of determination within him, as most like Japanese main characters are, especially shonen characters. But he has like he's working alongside the audience as well. You know what I mean? It's a very unique case of a main character. It's a very unique thing, you know, I've never seen before, you know.
いいか、この島に隠し屋敷があって愛人を住まわせていたらしいんだ。となりゃ俺を苦しめてきた18人なのか19人なのかって疑問は簡単に決着する。
マトラ様は魔女を否定するくせに18人の中にも犯人を求められないダブルスタンダードの袋小路に自ら追い込まれました。
魔女を否定する最も簡単な方法は18人の誰かを疑うことだ。18人全員のアリバイはそう簡単には揃わない。常に一人くらいはアリバイの脆い人間が生まれる。俺はそいつを生贄にすることで常に魔女を否定し続けることもできるだろう。しかしそれは断固拒否せ。
Yeah.
ああ、ダメだぜ。全然ダメだ。18人はみんな俺にとって親たちや親戚たちやいとこたち、そして真面目だったり面白かったりする頼もしい使用人の人たちだ。俺はその人たちの誰を生贄にすることも許せない。かつて俺はその決意があやふやだった。だからその心の弱さをベアトに疲れたんだ。
自らの弱点を認め理解する、なかなかできることではありません。バトラ様は19人目が存在する説を槍にする。槍というよりは盾でしょうかな。いずれにせよこれまでのゲームでの無策と違い、戦い方に指針を持たれるのは劇的飛躍と申せましょう。
ね。
これでバトラ様は敬愛する18人を疑わずに存分に19人目を疑い人間犯人説を追求できるわけでございます。
Yeah, pretty much like same thing with me. I feel like I have the exact same feelings as well because with the events that have happened transpired so far, I can't. It doesn't feel right, you know, that one of the 18 people, one of the relatives, the servants, are behind these murders. It's the same thing with Igarashi. The exact same fucking thing with Igarashi. Like, I mean, there's a whole thing with Igarashi, but during that time too, I couldn't fully believe that one of the characters would be able to do the murders. You know, it's the exact same thing here. You know, it's like I can't picture these characters being able to do these horrible things. You know, it's like there has to be a 19th person. There has to be a third party or something along those lines. You know, it's just something about that. You know.
そういうことさ。
It just doesn't fit. Even with like the evidence from episode 2, I still couldn't 100% think it's one of the like I couldn't imagine it's like one of the servants from like, you know, last episode that killed Jessica, you know, like in canon.
最初のゲームのカノン君が殺されたボイラー室とか他にも19人目が存在していたなら迷
As long as a 19th person existed. The very first game, Ken-kun was killed off in the boiler room. Yep. One may think he was attacked by Kumasawa-san, who had gone down to the boiler room with him. Or maybe that someone who had appeared to be dead earlier was actually faking it and ambushed him. Yeah? Either way, it was a move that forced me to suspect one of the 18. However, by simply proposing that a 19th person existed, there was no longer any need to suspect one of the 18 for that murder in the boiler room, yeah? I mean, we also have to take an event. In the boiler room, if I remember correctly, comment if I'm fucking wrong or whatever, one of the doors to the not the courtroom, to the outside was like left open. And that would make sense for Kumasawa unless she was, I don't know, smart enough to like go over to the door, creak it open a little bit and run back, but I don't think she would have enough time to do that. So it seems to me that it had to be a 19th person that killed Cannon, and as soon as they were done with killing Cannon with one of the stakes, they ran out of the room out the door and forgot to shut it in a hurry.
18人の誰にも無理だからイコール犯人は魔女という図式だけは否定することができるわけさ。
Using this argument, it's easy to explain. For example, the problematic case that has already occurred in this game. Who gave Maria the letter? Even if all 18 people have alibis, I could easily explain everything by saying that the 19th person must have visited her and given her the letter.
とても良い一手だと思いますよ。私だったらどう切り返しましょうか。たとえバトラ様が理解されたとしても、未だに弱点は健在。18人攻めは有効な手でしょうね。バトラ様の守りがどの程度か確かめる意味でも、改めてそこをつくのも面白いかもしれません。
ならどう来る？悪魔の執事。
バトラ様が刺された19人目の駒を迎え撃つのが妥当でございましょう。
I'm already liking this track.
バトラ様は19人目にお会いしておりませんね。19人目が存在する証拠をお願いできますかな。
The human Beatrice from the last game?
アメーゼもちろんその指し手で来るだろうことは読んでいる。
それは受け手をお願いいたします。
魔女だの悪魔だのお前らにこれほどふさわしい一手はないぜ。それがこいつ
Devil's Proofs.
悪魔の証明さ。
When you try to make some claim to humans like us, we always counterattack by telling you to show some proof, because that's a human move. But I'm fighting with a witch. I'm taking part in a battle with someone who isn't human. Some moves exist that can only be used in a game against a witch. These are cheap moves. That's what this devil's proof is, because it's impossible to prove. Let's assume that there is a hidden mansion in Okajima, separate from the usual Mira family mansion, and that a woman named Beatrice lives there. In order to prove this, one must find this mansion and actually bring Beatrice out of it. That's called actual proof in the human world. However, if we follow the rules of the devil's proof, you can't deny that she exists, even if there's no proof that she does. Because it's impossible to prove that something doesn't exist. That's right, finally able to turn the tables using this devil's proof, which tormented me so much before. Those guys were always trying to force me to accept the existence of the witch with it. After all, it was physically impossible for me to show any proof that witches don't exist and deny Bito's crimes. That's why I kept getting hit with the reckless argument that witches do exist and was unable to counterattack. And that's why I'll spin the chessboard around right now. If I can't disprove the existence of witches, then that means if I suggest that a 19th human exists, you can't deny that either. In other words, because this problematic and mysterious mistress is craftily hiding herself, it'd be perfectly natural if you never found her no matter how hard you looked. So you can't say that your inability to find this 19th person proves that she doesn't exist. Therefore, it's impossible to deny the 19th person's existence. Bito used the devil's proof to make denying her own existence impossible. This time, it's become my weapon. If we can get away with this argument, then forget just a 19th person. This island could be full of people we don't know about. Yep, there could be a whole team of special ops. And even if there were 10 or 100 of them, she still couldn't deny that they existed. In the last game and the one before that, among the murder scenes that showed up, there were several that were extremely intricate and must have taken a lot of effort to set up. Exactly. It's really hard to imagine a single culprit setting up all of those. However, if not just a 19th person but 10 or 100 people were hidden somewhere, that wouldn't be any problem at all. If they all split up the work, they could handle any job in a short period of time. Of course, doubts will naturally arise as to whether a large group of people like that could sneak around the mansion without being noticed, but those are all settled by the devil's proof. You can't deny that even 100 people were there just because they weren't seen or noticed. Even though I'm saying it myself, it's such a stupid argument that it makes me want to throw up. Yeah. However, because it's such a dirty move, it's a perfect one to use against a witch. Well, this is just my imagination. But what if about 100 suspicious men wearing goat masks were hiding in the shadows? Oh. Something like that's worse than laughable, almost like they're cockroaches. If you see one, it means there's 100 more hiding somewhere.
まあ、へりくつまみれの暴論だとは思うぜ。相手が人間だったなら、寝言を言うなと怒鳴られるところだろうよ。だが、俺の相手は魔女だ。そして、俺たちがやってるのはそういう勝負なんだろう。
If she wants to use the cop-out of it being magic, we're going to use the cop-out of it being 100 fucking people on the island. Because who knows, you know?
どんな暴論であろうとも、人間で説明をつけ、魔女を否定する。とにかく、この一手で俺は、二度と親しい18人のみんなを疑わなくて済む。俺は二度と、前回の失敗は繰り返さない。
なるほど。前回の失敗を学ばれているのですね。良いことですよ。さすがに3度もゲームを重ねると容量が良くなるものです。まずは自陣の守りを固める。実に堅実な処方です。なかなかの妙手と思いますよ。
まあ、19人目の人物を仮定したとしても、マスターキーの本数などのように何人人間を増やしてもクリアできないトリックも残ってる。しかしとりあえずの初手としては悪くないはずだ。
バトラ様の切り札、19人目の人物という大駒。証拠はあるのかとの私の一手に、バトラ様は悪魔の証明で反撃。良い攻防です。お嬢様のおられないところで勝手に手を進めてしまうのは申し訳ないのですが、私も少し面白くなってきてしまったところです。お嬢様に代わりさらに一手進めさせていただきましょうか。
来いよ。魔女だろうと悪魔だろうと相手に不足はねえ。
What is your next move, one of they?
バトラ様の刺された一手、悪魔の証明。これは私ども悪魔のお箱でございますが、他にも私どもにはいくつもの手がございます。ヘンペルのカラスという一手はご存知ですか？
Temple's Raven.
ヘンペルのカラス？何の話だ？
Fuck. Just then a raging laugh I've heard so many times started echoing. The room was filled with dazzling golden butterflies, and in the center of that whirlwind, the golden witch appeared.
これはお嬢様。おはようございます。
わらわのいないところで何やら面白そうなことをしていると思えば、ヘンペルのカラスか。なんとも笑える懐かしい一手よ。よもやバトラに披露する日が来ようとはな。それは悪魔の証明に並ぶ古典的一手だ。どの上、それはわらわが指す一手ぞ。わらわの楽しみを減らしてくれるな。
出やがったな。 ゲラゲラ魔女め。
Golfling, which now that's a unique word.
相変わらず下品に笑いやがって。こいつもお前のこと笑い方に品がねえって陰口言ってたぜ。まあ
それは心外な。本当か？
そうもない。心より尊敬申し上げているお嬢様に、この私めがどうしてそのような陰口を申せましょうか。
よくもシャーシャーと言えるもんだな。お前とは仲良くなれそうにないぜ。
まあよい。話を戻そう。ヘンペルのカラスは実証を待遇的に行ってみせる。つまりこういう手だ。カラスが黒いことを証明するにはどうすればいい？
あ？
Huh?
何の話だ？カラスが黒いことを証明って、カラスを捕まえてきて色が黒いことを確認すりゃいいだけの話だろ。
その通り。カラスイコール黒いを証明すればよい。ということは、黒くない鳥イコールカラスではないを証明しても同じ論法になるのがわかるかな。世界中のカラスでない鳥をすべて調べ、それらが黒くないことを証明すれば、それは結果的に故に黒い鳥はカラスであるとなるわけだ。これを待遇論法という。そなたには難しいか？
ああ、まったく何言ってやがるのかさっぱりだ。
Kind of getting the gist of it?
バトラ様、こういう例え話はいかがでしょう。2つの箱があり、片方は当たりでクッキーが入っているといたします。
Do you like your cookies, man?
もちろんもう片方は外れで空っぽです。
For example, here are two boxes. Where one has a cookie inside means you win, while the other is empty means you lose. At this moment, it has a cookie inside equals you win, which implies that you do not win. It doesn't have no cookie inside. When such a relationship exists, the letter is called the contrapositive. When if A, then B is true, then if not B, then not A is also true.
そりゃ当然だろう。
Okay.
もし選んだ方が外れだったなら、もう片方は自動的に当たりってことになる。つまり箱を適当に選び、当たりを引こうと外れを引こうと、最初の一手でどっちの箱にクッキーが入っているか特定できるわけだ。
Yeah.
その通り。開けた箱にクッキーが入っていたなら悪魔の証明を満たす。この箱は当たりイコールこの箱にはクッキーが入っているをまさに実証できるわけだ。しかし開けた箱が空っぽだったなら、この時は逆にヘンペルのカラスを満たす。この箱にクッキーが入っていないイコールこの箱は当たりではないとなるのだから。
Okay, so it's the opposite. Interesting.
そしてそれは箱が2つしかないことを前提としている限り、もう片方の箱が自動的に当たりであることを待遇的に示している。
まあなんとなく理屈は分かったぜ。毒を制するには毒、へりくつにはへりくつってわけだ。それで俺の島には19人目の人間が隠れているに違いないから、18人全員にアリバイがあってもそれは魔女を認めることにはならないをどう切り返してくれるってんだ。
よかろう。わらわの手は教えよう。まずそなた18人の中に犯人はいないイコール ならば犯人は19人目としている。ならば待遇としてこうなるわけだ。
Is it going to be
つまり犯人は19人目ではない、イコールならば18人の中に犯人がいる。
はあ？なんだと？それはどういう意味だ？
そなたの指し手を逆手に取っただけだがな。そう難しい話ではあるまい。ロノウェ、説明せよ。そなたのさっきのクッキーの箱の例えはバトラに分かりやすいらしい。
それでは僭越ながら先ほどの例え話でもう一度ご説明させていただきます。
Allow me to repeat my earlier story about two treasure boxes, one of which has a cookie in it. In this situation, you have an 18-person box and a 19th-person box. So the cookie represents the culprit. Beatrice, let's say you open the 18-person box. Because the cookie is not there, you have paradoxically proven that therefore the cookie is in the 19th-person box. That lets us make an even more paradoxical claim. In other words, if it was first shown that the 19th-person box was empty, it would prove at the same time that the cookie is in the 18-person box. Beatrice played this move in order to avoid having to doubt any of the 18. But it's now being used to prepare an 18-person attack.
なんだと？
Wow, okay. Goddamn fucking... goddamn Heppels, Raven, doubles proof, fucking goddamn fucking... philosophical... I don't know what to call them, methods, Well, shit.
わらわが19人目の箱の中身が空っぽであることを先に証明すれば、そなたは自動的に18人の箱の中にクッキーがあることを認めなければならないということになる。
But we don't. It ain't empty. It's not empty. Fucking... There was a human Beatrice. Last episode, a 19th person. Last episode. Just because a person named Beatrice exists doesn't make it so she's a witch. Just that there's a person named Beatrice on the island.
そなたはそれを逆の言い方で口にしたに過ぎんのだぞ。
つまり俺の自信満々の一手は同時に諸刃の剣でもあるってわけか。
Yeah, once you answer a question, like, is the sky blue? Let's just say that. Is the sky blue? If you're not looking up, it's like, no, is the sky blue? You just look. God damn, fucking Hempel's waving. Oh, jeez, these fucking methods. Oh, all right, Jesus, all right. But I get the gist of what they're saying. I get, okay.
その通りよ。
You have to, basically, you have to accept the reality of if one thing is true, then the other can't be true. Basically, that's what they're saying here. That's Hempel's Raven.
そなたの19人目で全てを説明する一手は、それが破られた時、18人でしか説明できないことを認めざるを得ないリスクを背負っている。
Yeah. I see. Hempel's Raven. So this is a countering technique. Wait. If I really think about it, this counter is really disadvantaged for me. This isn't a cookie we're talking about. If I imagine that the loser treasure chest actually has a bomb in it, it gets even clearer. And there aren't just two treasure chests, but 18 plus one more for the 19th person. If you think of it as a total of 19 boxes, it gets even easier to picture. First off, one of the premises of the human culprit theory is that the bomb will definitely be in one of those boxes. I didn't want to place the bomb in the boxes for any of the 18, so I used a double its proof, and created the 19th person box so I could throw the bomb in there. That much was fine, but then Bito struck back. Now, if the contents of the 19th person box are empty, that automatically mean that the bomb's in one of the 18 boxes. Yep. If I could examine what's inside all 18 of those boxes, then as long as I can show that the bomb isn't in any of them, I'll be able to safely show that the 18 are innocent. If that were possible, I'd have nothing to fear. However, in reality, that'll be almost absolutely impossible. The police wouldn't come here in this typhoon. We don't have access to scientific investigations or experts or anything. In short, we can't prove anything decisively. Yeah, that's the problem with this. We can't prove that all 18 members of the family, or the 18 people on this island we know about, are completely innocent. We can't prove that. All we have is feeling. That's all we have. That's all Battle is working with. It's pure feeling. We don't have any proof that it can't be one of them. You know? It'll be almost impossible for me to find any proof other than simply gulping down whatever alibis each of the 18 give. Exactly. That means I personally have to prove their innocence, and I have to do it perfectly. Like by staying with them the whole time, never letting them out of my sight for a second. By doing that, I could possibly be sure of that person's innocence. Sure that the bomb is in their box. However, in practical terms, that'll be impossible. Yeah, it's 18 fucking people. In other words, I'd have to expend an incredible effort just to check the contents of one box. And there are 18 of them. In other words, unless I bound all 18 of them in chains and watch over them, it'll be impossible to prove that all of them have empty boxes. However, Bito only has to open one box, the 19th person box, and show that it's empty to prove that the bomb's in one of the other 18 boxes. Furthermore, there's no need for her to show which of the 18 boxes has the bomb, yeah. I've got 18 times more work to do to explain my pet theory than Beatrice does for hers.
Yono naka ni wa akuma no shoumei ga sou de aru youni. Hanron ni boudai na tema ga kakari, jijitsu jou fukanou de aru keesu ga sukunaku nai. Shikashi, ヘンペルのカラスはその問題を逆手に取り、容易に実証することを可能とする。
ヘンペルのカラスを使えば、さまざまな暴論が実証可能なのです。例えば、私以外の人間イコール愚かであるという命題があったとします。これを証明するには本来、私を除く全人類を調べ、愚かであることを証明しなければなりません。しかし何十億人も調べるなど現実には不可能でしょう。マトラ様の18箱を開ける手間と全く同じです。
しかしヘンペルのカラスならば、その命題は待遇的にこう変換される。つまり私以外の人間イコール愚かであるをそなた風に言うならば、チェス盤をひっくり返し、愚かではないイコール私として証明してもよいということだ。つまりどういうことだと思う？わらわが聡明であるという事実を知るだけで、全人類は愚かであることの何十億人分もの証明が直ちに終了してしまうわけだ。全人類がわらわよりも愚かであることをわずか1秒もかけずに証明終了できる。世界最強最速の QED。 これぞヘンペルのカラス。
なんつう暴論だよ。
これはとてもとても便利な一手ですよ。悪魔どころか神々も好む一手です。幸福であるイコール神のしもべを命題とするとき、 待遇は神のしもべでない人間イコール幸福であってはいけないとなります。つまり神のしもべがその加護によって幸福であることを実証するためには、その加護を受けぬ人々が不幸であることを実証すればいいわけです。そして彼らは自らの神を信じない人々を不幸に突き落とすことで自らの幸福を実証する。
人に幸福を与えるには莫大なコストがかかる。しかし人を不幸にするのに必要なコストははるかに安上がりだ。つまりヘンペルのカラスを使えば神々は実に低コストで信者に加護の喜びを与えられるわけよ。
悪魔だ。悪魔の理論だ。めちゃくちゃだ。
話がそれてしまったようだね。そろそろ話を戻そうぞ。わらわの反撃の一手は以上だ。そなたの19人目が犯人だから18人は無実で魔女も存在しないへの反撃は、ならば19人目が犯人でないことを証明できたら18人か魔女のどちらかが犯人ということで確定するぞとの確認だ。
For a while, I just stood there, shocked, completely forgetting to close my mouth. Just when I thought I countered one of their strong points, their counterattack had been this reckless argument I couldn't possibly have anticipated. Yeah? Is this going to be impossible after all? To continue denying the witch on an island of no more than 18 people, and still believe in the innocence of those 18 people? Is that just a delusion? Am I just trying to escape reality? Come on, battler. Remember. Not yet. Don't give up this desperate struggle yet. Who cares about whoever's waving? They're just trying to confuse me by bringing up weird bits of trivia. Exactly! I used the double as proof. Don't feel uncertain about something you've used once. Believe in the spear you've drawn. And then forcefully gouge it in.
まだまだ序盤だぞ。この程度で長考するつもりか？
いや待て、確認するぞ。確かに俺は分かりやすく19人目という言い方をしたが、悪魔の証明によって18人以上人間を増やせるなら、それは10人いるか100人いるかもわからない不特定多数ということだ。お前が想定する人数より常に1人多い。わかるか？
They countered my twisted logic with something even more twisted. So the only thing that could counter that would be even crazier twisted logic.
なるほど。わらわが19人目のアリバイを何らかの方法で証明したとしても、その瞬間にそなたは20人目を生み出し犯人だと主張する。これを無限に繰り返すことによってわらわは永遠に彼らのアリバイの証明が終えられないというわけか。なるほどなるほど。さながらイナゴの大群を呼び出す魔王よな。さすがは金蔵の孫よ。召喚術の才能には恵まれていると見える。
つまり18人以外の存在 X は常にアリバイを証明することが不可能なんだ。どうだベアト、ヘリクス合戦だと分かれば俺も負けねえぜ。
愚かしいぞ。わらわを誰と心得る。わらわこそは無限の魔女。
Crazy bitch, that's what you are.
そのわらわに 無限にて挑むとは片払いたいわ。無限を操ることはつまり無限を殺すこともできるということ。わらわが19人目を切ればそなたは20人目を呼び、20人目を切れば21人目を呼び、21人目を切れば22人目を切れば23人目を呼び、34人目を呼び、6計4358兆2235億7967万3204人目を呼び
Damn, that's a lot of people.
わらわを永遠に翻弄で生きるとでも。無限交代とは笑わせる。わらわに無限は通じぬわ。
ほう、ならばどうやってこの俺の無限を殺すんだよ。見せてみろよ。
How are you going to counter this stupid argument, huh?
わらわには真実を赤で語る力があろうが。
Son of a bitch.
来やがったな。
God damn it.
わらわが赤で語るとき、そこには一切の幻想がない。わらわがこの島には100人しかいないと一言赤で語れば、そなたにはもはや101人目を生み出すことはかなわぬのだ。ほーらバトラ、今度はどんな真実を赤で語ってみせようか。どんな拠り所を叩き切ってそなたを絶望に突き落としてやろうか。そうら、いつもの怯えた顔を見せてみるがいい。
God damn that fucking red talk.
なに？そなた、笑うか。
I wonder what kind of creepy look I had my face as I laughed right then. That word sure is scary. Every time it jumps out, I'm driven to the depths of hopelessness. But I've already realized something. There's no need to be overly afraid of the red.
また抜きやがったな。殿下の宝刀だ。それで今度はベアトリーチェ様は何をどう赤で語ってくださるってんだ。
それはどういう意味か。急に余裕を見せよう。
悪いがその真っ赤な宝刀は俺も抜いてくれるのを待ってたんだ。さてお前は今度は何を赤で宣言してくれるんだ。
I think Battlers realized that, like, there's a thing about Beatrice. She could just say, in order to, just disprove Battlers' theory, she could just say, in red, there's only 18 people on the island. She could just say that. She could just say that. But as we remember last time from episode 2, she used these specific, red things to disprove that there was nobody else in the room at the time of Jessica's death or whatnot. But here's the thing that we're running from Beatrice. She doesn't always make the best moves. She has arrogance, as we saw from Kyrie said, or theorized about last time. Beatrice wants to have a game, and she has this power. She has this power to speak truth in red. She has this power. But she doesn't want the game to end so easily. I feel like that's going to be her downfall, is because of her arrogance, because of her pride as an endless witch is going to be her downfall. I think that's what Battle has realized here.
犯人は18人の中にいるとでも言ってくれるのか。言っとくがそいつは自爆だぜ。
Exactly.
その時点でお前は魔女説を自ら捨てたも同然。まさに 棟梁だ。
That's right. The red wasn't always a weapon that worked in Bito's favor alone. It was the other way around. If she used it the wrong way, it was dangerous enough that she could bring about her own death.
確かに俺にとっても18人の中に犯人がいると赤で言われることは受け入れたくない悲しい事実さ。たとえ誰が犯人であっても、俺
Yeah.
はきっと辛い気持ちになるだろうぜ。
If it's one of the 18, then it can't be a witch.
だが、
Yeah.
それはそれ以前にお前の敗北も意味する。
Yeah, that is true. She has to carefully word it.
人間が犯人だとお前が赤で語ることはお前の棟梁宣言にも等しい。お前が俺と差し違えても相打ちにしたいってんならそれも面白い一手だろうぜ。だがこの勝負は俺の勝ちで終わる。
Beatrice's red was her true trump card. When that person speaks in red, it's definitely the truth, and no amount of proof or counter-arguments can change that. Until now, she used that to severely wound me, and each time the tiny foundation supporting my heart gets split in half. However, she uses it carelessly, then I could also glean a little information about the truth. Exactly. In the last game, I used that to my advantage, especially during the chapel's closed room trick. Yep, I almost completely got her boxed in at one point. But she was pretty sly herself. She learned from experience, and since then she started using discretion in the timing of her red. This feeling of tension was almost literally like a battle with real swords. This is a high-level intellectual battle. No, not an intellectual battle. This really is twisted logic. This was the world's craziest and worst battle of twisted logic.
さあ今度はお前の手番だぜ。そうさ。お前のヘンペルのカラスを使うにはまず18人以外に何人の人間がいるのかを赤で確定させる必要がある。その上でそれらの人間についてさらに赤で犯人でないことを宣言したならば、なるほど、こいつは俺にとって致命傷になるだろうぜ。
あれほど怯えていた赤をもはやみじんも怯えぬとはな。たくましいやつよ。
抜いてみろよ、殿下の宝刀。バッサリ決まって今度こそ俺を屈服できるかもしれねえぜ。
面白い。こうでなくてはな。
Agitate her. Challenge her. Drive her into a corner to make her speak in red. Of course, her red's always wiping out my only ways of hope, but don't be afraid of that. May destroy one fury, but by God it can construct another. On this island, overcome with falsehoods and illusions, the only thing I can trust is the information she speaks in red. It's my only way across this chasm of hell. Just a single tightrope. Her merciless blood-red blade is the only way I can survive. This isn't just walking on tightrope, it's like literally walking on the edge of a blade. Of course I'm afraid. Because my victory condition is the denial of witches, then to use her counter-positive logic, the culprit must be human. But I didn't want to search for a culprit in mid-18. That's what made me stick to a weak position, since I had to claim both that it couldn't be a witch and that it couldn't be one of the 18. Last time I was unable to understand that, so that's where she hit me, leaving me tattered and defeated. But that's okay. Let her hit me. Let her attack. No problem. Someone said it once in an old sword fighting movie, that a good fortress has one and only one intentionally weak point. The enemy would gather there. They would be lured there, and that would be where the actual battle took place. As long as I understood my weak points, as long as she wanted to attack those weak points, it was as if I was luring her into watching an attack there. Gauge the distance between us with care, retreating step by step. Make them move forward. The more she recklessly flourished that red, the more chances I would get to strike back. Don't be afraid of the red. Keep her cornered so that she'll have no choice but to refute me with the red. No matter how oppressively she speaks in red, that's right. That red itself is the same as fresh blood leaking from her wounds.
さあ、どうしたよ。まずはこの島に合計で何人いるのか赤で語ってもらおうじゃねえか。さもないとお前のカラスは俺に切り込めないぜ。
破れかぶれがこうもやりにくいとは。捨て身というやつはいつの時代も侮れんな。やはり金蔵の孫か。追い詰められれば追い詰められるほどに不敵。
Wonov cleared his throat.
膠着しましたね。せっかくの紅茶も冷めてしまいますよ、お嬢様。
Wonov, who was supposed to be her ally, luggishly rushed her into making her next move. Bito probably thought she managed to smile back and appear confident, but she couldn't hide the sweat building up on her forehead. By now, she had completely lost the confident feeling that had allowed her to turn her nose up at her worthless opponent. Of course, she probably wouldn't be cornered by something like this. She's just being cautious. Till now, I'd been inexperienced. I didn't know how to fight, and I wasn't strong enough to be her opponent. However, now that we've reached the third game, she's realized that I'm starting to become more skilled. She's growing more cautious, thinking every move over carefully. Sure, that's just fine, Beatrice. Sorry to keep you waiting. Are you happy now?
面白くなってきたぜ。
バトラ
ー。拉致が開かねえな。ならズバッと気持ちよくいつものやつで行こうじゃねえか。
ほう、いつものやつとな。ならば頼もうではないか。あれを聞かぬとやはり始まった気がせぬわ。
The first move was mine.
行くぜベアト。副賞要求。
Oh shit.
この島には18人しかいない。
Say it.
こいつを赤で言われちまったら俺は18人の誰かを疑わざるを得ない。19人目の仕業にはもうできず八方塞がりさ。だが俺は18人の中に犯人が絶対にいないと信じてる。あんな残酷な殺人を18人の誰にも起こせるものか。繰り返すぞ。副賞要求。この島には18人しかいない。
Come on.
拒否する。理由は明かさない。
Phew. I'd avoided what would have been the worst red for me. If she repeated that, I'd be faced with those two worst choices of accepting the witch or suspecting one of the 18. Like last time all over again. But Bito hadn't proclaimed my ultimate and greatest weakness in red. She refused to repeat it, even though there was no reason for her not to strike, even though it was a weakness she should have been drooling at. She hadn't sliced me up with red by using a move, which should have been as good as forking a look in the king. This was a big sign of my advantage. That's right. So that means if she doesn't want to repeat, there's only 18 people on the island, there has to be a 19th person then. The culprit isn't one of the 18. I won't suspect anyone. Since the culprit isn't a witch either, it means a 19th person exists on this island. And that's you. A person who, as grandfather's mistress of 30 years, has been secretly living in a hidden mansion in the forest for a long, long time. The human Beatrice. Yeah, exactly!
そうさ。お前は魔女なんかじゃない。この島に何十年も隠れ住んできた。
千年を経た無限の魔女のわらわをただの人間呼ばわりしたか。
Goddamn right. For a while, Beatrice continued to laugh unpleasantly and rodently, maybe spitefully.
いいか、続けるぜ。続けて復唱要求。この島には19人以上がいる。
Beatrice fell silent once again. She'd probably remain extremely cautious. As long as confirming the number of humans on this island might give her some large disadvantage, depending on the situation. The red has already become a foothold for my counterattacks. Now that we know this, it makes the red very risky for the witch. But if she can repeat this, her Hemfall's Raven wouldn't be effective. To break my double's proof, she would need to settle the existence of a number of people outside the 18 in red. That's right. She couldn't break the existence of a 19th person unless she used red. I'd close Beto in, giving her no choice but to speak in red. Yep, you want to prove that there's not a 19th person, you gotta... No, you can't say there's only 18, so there has to be 19. There really was a way to fight in this witch's game.
拒否してもいいんだぜ。お前が赤で言えないなら、この島の合計人数は18プラス X ってことになる。この X は初手で許すには相当でかい大駒だぜ。何しろ以後18人の誰にも不可能だったという根拠のトリックは全て18人以外の人間 X で説明可能になる。
Yeah, there could be 20, there could be 100.
全員アリバイ系の密室を全て打ち破れる大駒だ。
It was just like how Chess Bishop can cut a fit line through enemy forces as long as there's a slight gap. It could only be effectively used in squares of the same color, but it was very good at controlling territory on the board. It looked like Beto also noticed her current plight. She couldn't just let such an important piece go, especially this close to the beginning of the game. If she pulled out her red treasure sword, it wouldn't be that difficult to save herself from this. But Beto was completely aware that I was expecting that. She was afraid that a careless red truth might end up strangling her own neck. Because in the first place, a witch is something that ought to be denied in red. Believe. Don't doubt. Witches don't exist! Something like that couldn't exist in this world. They can only exist in the valleys between truths. They have a fragile existence, curled up in these cracks, frantically trying to protect themselves from the brutal winds of truth. They can only barely exist like a mirage by surviving on falsehoods and illusions. In other words, the red, which only witches can use, is a reality that might easily deny their very being. The more they brandish their red words, the more they begin to lose bit by bit that crack in truth inside which they can endure. That's why they don't want to use red words and carelessly lose that crack in truth, which is based on fuzzy information. Or illusions, in other words. Yeah? That's because they understand that they're gradually being cornered. Of course, that bastard will never admit it. Because if she did, it'd be the same as admitting that she's something that can't exist in this world, like an imaginary number. Don't be afraid. Stay strong. I know that she's the one who's really been pierced through the bone. After all, her red treasure sword can be used without a lot of preparation. Exactly. Witches don't exist, goddammit. All those scenes we've seen, those are just illusions, baby. Huh?
この島には19人以上がいる。
Haha. At the end of Beto's worrying, she took a single deep breath and quietly announced her refusal. I thought she'd use it, but Beto refused to speak in red, even though it would cost her victory in the opening part of the game.
拒否した。 ということは今後
We could work on the assumption there's 20, there'd be 100 people on this
俺は
island.
18人以外の架空人物 X を何人でも使い放題ってことになるぜ。
好きにするがよい。わらわはそなたの復唱を拒否した。
Okay.
今はそれで十分である。拒否の理由は、いや、今はまだ明かさない。いずれすぐにわかる。
Soon enough.
もったいぶりやがってよ。
あえて使わぬ赤もまた赤らしい使い方よ。そなたは赤き宝刀と呼んだな。愉快な例え。わらわも使おう。宝刀は抜かぬうちが花。むしろ抜かぬことによって醸せる畏怖というものも。
そうだな。俺はお前がいつ赤でひっくり返してくるか常に念頭に置いて戦わなければならない。こいつはえれえプレッシャーだ。それに復唱を拒否される方が辛い場合もある。何しろ俺の読みが正しいから拒否できないのか、
Or are you just fucking with
ミ
me?
スリードにはまって泳がされてるのか区別がつかないからな。そういう意味ではなるほど抜かずの宝刀ってわけだ。
同じ突き落とす。少しでも高いところに行かせてからに入る。まだ始まったばかり。まだまだ。この勝負は今はわらわがリザインする。淡き勝利に今はよい。今は
So now with this information, the possibility still exists for a 19th person. I can't prove it per se, but once again, I may remind you, the human Beatrice we saw in episode 2, which I feel like definitively, you know, I think that's a 19, well, I mean, not many people saw her, though. You know, that's a thing. Is 19th person. Who knows, you know? Practically speaking, the early part of the game ended with her being a sore loser. Even so, I couldn't relax my guard at all. That tension didn't fade one bit, till I was greeted by the sound of one of applause.
お見事です、バトラ様。
I don't need praise from you.
まずは序盤はバトラ様有利の展開でスタートというところでしょうか。
さあな。この駒が俺の手でもぎ取ったものなのか取るよう誘導されたものかはまだわからねえな。どうせお前のことだ。俺が罠にはまり始めてるのを知ってて白々しく拍手をしてるんだろ。
まさか序盤とはいえお嬢様より一本を奪った手腕を純粋に祝福いたしております。何しろお嬢様はすぐ増長するお方。たまにはこのような刺激も良い薬かと思いますよ。
お前んとこの執事ほんと口悪いな。
であろう。たまにわらわでもカチンとくるぞ。
それは大変に失礼いたしました。さあさあ、お嬢様にバトラ様、紅茶のおかわりはいかがですかな。まだゲームは始まったばかりでございます。ゲームを彩るお茶とお菓子はどうかこの私めにお任せを。
Goddamn right, I need some snacks.
どうぞお気兼ねなくゲームをおすすめになってください。
そうさせてもらう。先を進めるぜ。これからが本番だ。
Oh, well, I prefer my tea to be Coke.
よかろう。 時計を進めようではないか。ロノウェ、紅茶を頼む。
かしこまりました。クッキーはい
らぬ。ベルゼブブにあれば喜ぼう。しばし沈黙せよ。
While listening to the sound of the demon butler pouring tea, the witch closed her eyes slightly and fell silent. For some time she was deeply lost in thought, but eventually a roguish glint came into her eyes.
よかろう。わらわがどうして初手にて赤で語るのを拒否したの？
何？上等じゃねえかよ。
Alright, what excuse are you gonna bring on me?
お手並み拝見と行くぜ。
やはり見逃すには惜しい大駒よ。拙速かもしれぬが動かせてもらう。赤は使わない。今よりそれをわらわに代わってローザが説明する。
Oh.
聞くがよ。
Alright. Oh boy, here we go.
もちろん私も同意よ。ローザもそうでしょ？ローザ？
ごめんなさい。私も同じよ。同意するわ。
どうしたんや、ローザさん。あんたさっきからずいぶんおとなしいな。体調でも悪いんとちゃうか？
From the beginning, Rosa had never been one to cut in on the siblings' fights. But even so, she seemed unmotivated, and had said almost nothing during this night's conference. The whole time she had hung her head and appeared to be thinking of something else.
あんたさっきからぼんやりしてるわよ。そんなので遺産が守れると思ってるの？あんたも一児の母なんだから、もっとしっかりなさいよ。
ごめんなさい。
朝がだいぶ早かったんじゃないかね。体調が悪いなら無理をしない方がいいだろう。
客室にベッドの用意がありますよ。お休みになってはいかがですか？ご案内しますよ。
いえ、大丈夫です。ありがとう。
どうしたんだ？何か心配事でもあるのか？
いえ、別に。
そう？さっきからずっと心ここにあらずという感じよ。そしてそれは今私たちがしている議題と何か関係があるんじゃないかしら。
At those words, everyone stared at Rosa together. As if in response, Rosa's shoulders quivered. Paranoid Curie's guess had been wrong. Rosa couldn't deny it either.
いえ、
She swallowed whatever it was she had been trying to say and went silent again. Of course, the other siblings also began to realize that something about her appearance was different from usual.
どうしたんだ？さっきからおかしいぞ。何か思うことでもあるのか？
わしら全員で一人で悩むなんて水臭い話やで。話したってな。
ローザ、話しなさい。
The men pressed her one after the other, and Rosa confessed resignedly and nervously. The atmosphere made it seem as though she was confessing to some modest prank, which had invariably brought about a serious situation.
いえ、ベアトリーチェっていうお父様の愛人って本当に生きてるのかしらって思って。
はあ？
Huh.
そりゃ生きてるに決まってるでしょう。こうして手紙を送ってくるぐらいだもの。
元気かどうかは別の問題だろうけどな。肖像画の美女も今じゃきっといいお年だろうぜ。
元気やと思うで。金のことで悪知恵働くやつは決まっていくつになっても元気や。案外悪巧みは最高の回春剤かもしらへんで。
生きてるはずないの。
Shouldn't be.
今なんて。
ベアトリーチェは死んでるのよ。
What?
私が殺した。
What?
なんだって。
どういうことよ、ローザ。
The hell?
でも私が殺したわけじゃ。
I remember Rosa saying in episode 2 that she had, when she was younger, believed in the tale of Beatrice, but she never came to her at all, which made her resent her.
でも私があんなところに連れ出したから。
But what?
やっぱり私が殺したのよ。あれは夢だと思い込もうとしたのよ。でもやっぱりあれは夢じゃなかったのよ。だからこれはベアトリーチェの俺からの手紙なのよ。
What the hell? It was so sudden that everyone was lost for words. Rosa kept on talking, unable to stop, holding her head as her hair flew all about.
どうか落ち着いて、ローザさん。
わしには何が何やらさっぱりや。もう死んどる？どういう意味なんや。
2つの意味があると思うわ。まず1つ目は言葉通りの意味、そしてもう1つは私たちの想像が正しかったことを裏付けるもの。
ということはローザはベアトリーチェに会ったことがあるというのか。
そんな話ローザの口からは一度も聞いたことがないわ。ローザ、いつよ。あなたは一体いつベアトリーチェに会ったのよ。
昔よ。ずっと昔よ。まだこの島に引っ越してきたばかりで私は幼かった。私は悪くないの。私が殺したわけじゃ。
This is what the hell?
落ち着け。誰もお前を責めちゃいねえぜ。まず水でも飲め。な、夏日さん、水差しを頼む。
はい、どうぞローザさん、どうか落ち着いて。
Well, this confirms, or perhaps it doesn't, or who knows, that Beatrice was an actual person at one point. Until Rosa was able to calm her ragged breathing, no one was able to speak a word. Ah, son of a bitch, come on. Don't you dare cut me off right there. Hell no, come on. Rosa, the Witch of the Forest. Now we're back here again. This goddamn not, I wouldn't call it cathedral, but nice place.
ベアトリーチ、先ほどから呼んでおる。聞こえなんだか？
So I guess I was right that this place that we saw at the beginning is the mansion on Wokenjima.
そうであったか。すまぬ。ぼんやり考え事をしていた。許せ。
良い天気だな。
なるほど。陽気に心を奪われるのもわかるというもの。紅茶はここで飲むか？
わらわは何者なのか。
Huh?
今紅茶を持ってくる。しばし待て。
紅茶は良い。わらわの話に付き合え。
よかろう。
Kinzo had used the excuse of getting black tea to try and interrupt the conversation for the time being. Okay, what the fuck's going on? Oh, okay. Alright. Fuck. Alright. But his attempt had been very transparent. I sat in the garden chair and beckoned Kinzo to do the same. Kinzo sat down heavily, exaggerating his age. For a while we sat and appreciated the silence.
わらわは何者なのか。この問いに今日まで答えてくれた者はおらぬ。なぜか皆目をそらしはぐらかす。
Who am I?
そなたとは長い仲だ。わらわはそなたを無二の友であり、そして父ですらあると思っておる。だからどうか教えてほしい。そなたは知っているはずだ。わらわが何者であるかを。
なぜにそのようなことが気になるのか。そなたはベアトリーチェ。この屋敷の主ではないか。
I wonder now. I'm really wondering now. I'm developing something in my head now. You know what? I'm just might as well fucking say it. Okay, so Rosa's claiming that she killed Beatrice, or put in her place when she died. Okay, so that was when they first moved to the island, right? What if the original Beatrice died there, and Kinzo was in mourning for Beatrice, as we've seen done? We know... Okay, here's the thing. We know about... There's an orphanage where he gets his, furniture, where he got Shannon and Cannon. And he gets, servants from that orphanage. I can't remember the name of that orphanage, but whatever. What if... This is really fucked up. What if Kinzo, because due to his power and influence, got... I don't know, one of the girls drugged her and dressed her up to be Beatrice. And this is the Beatrice we're seeing now. What if that's it? The human Beatrice. That's not impossible. And that's the only thing that would make sense that connects all of this. Because Kinzo is obviously old. He seems the same age as we see him present day, perhaps. Or maybe this is in the past. Who fucking knows? But that's what I'm working with here. That's how there is a human Beatrice. And maybe the human Beatrice we saw in episode 2 is that girl who finally comes to the manor because she's finally trying to break out of Kinzo's control, out of his birdcage, since she's been stuck on this island for God who knows how long. Okay, I'm gonna keep that one in the back of my head, that little theory. Right now. For right now. Right now.
それ以上の何を知りたいというのか。なんだ。何が知りたいのか自分でもわからぬというのか。
That would actually kind of tie in with the beginning scene of this episode, with the woman whose name was Beatrice. So Beatrice is not really a name anymore. It's more of a title. God, that's like really disturbing implications, though. Like really fucking disturbing. Man, Kinzo, you fucked up, man.
それは不可解な。若き日には出口なき思考の迷路にて遊びたくなることもある。
Cause that place was the exact same place as here. God. Wow. God. Now that I'm going down this road of thinking, it's just really fucked up. Like, fuck.
そなたの悩みもそれであろう。
Kinzo laughed as though it was a trivial matter. However, I couldn't help but feel that this behavior was another attempt to force me to stop any further questioning.
やはりそなたもそれを語ってはくれぬのか。
語ることなど何もない。そなたはベアトリーチェだ。それで十分ではないか。
いや違う。わらわが知りたいのは名前ではない。わらわが何者なのかだ。わらわは誰で何でいつからここにいて、そしていつまでここで日々を過ごせばよいのか。
やはり紅茶を持ってこよう。せっかくの陽気がもったいないとは思わぬか。
Stop dodging the question, old man.
これは何の話だ？
That's what I'm saying!
どうやらお前の昔話のようだが。
そのようだ。まさかここまで遡るとは。
自分は誰なのかとはまた。えらく高尚な悩みをお持ちのようじゃねえか。
無理もないわ。当時のわらわは自分が何者なのか、何のために生きているのかを理解できなかった。
ま、誰でも思春期になると自分の生きる意味とは何ぞやみたいな哲学的な悩みに一度はとらわれるものさ。お前にもそんな微笑ましい時期があっただけという話だろ。
わらわは生まれた時からその屋敷におった。そして屋敷の中だけで生きた。もちろん庭には出られたが、敷地はとても高い柵で囲まれており、それを出ることはできず、また出てはならないと厳しく言われておった。わらわはな、屋敷と庭は自由に歩けたが、その外へは自らの意志ではたった一歩出ることさえ叶わなかったのだ。
そりゃどういう意味だよ。物心ついた時からずっとカゴの鳥だったって言いたいのか？
Kinzo's cage.
そういうものだと思っていた。何しろ気づいた時からそういう生活だったからな。疑問にも思わなかった。
お前一体何者なんだ？
それよ、それこそわらわもまた望んだものだ。
どうせ人間ではなくて魔女でしたって言いやがるんだろ。
いや違う。まだ違う。
Yet?
いや、かつてそうだったと言うべきか。 わらわは金蔵によって作られた人間によって作られた人間。いや、肉でできた檻とでも言うべき。
なんだよそりゃ。妙な話を言い出しやがって。
Yeah.
どうせそなたは信じぬだろうがな。まずは聞け。わらわは1000年を経た偉大なる魔女であった。しかしある時、金蔵によって呼び出され、その秘術にて永遠の虜となるよう縛られたのだ。
そりゃ初耳だぜ。
Yeah.
後ろ宮家で知られてる話では、お前はじい様に呼び出されて
Got his gold.
悪魔の契約みたいなのを結んで黄金を授けたってことになってるぜ。
それは正しい。そしてわらわは黄金を授け、契約の終わる時まで姿を消すはずだった。しかし、まあモテる女の辛いとこよな。金蔵はこともあろうか、わらわに恋をした。
じい様も金眼が進んでたんだろうよ。ついでに乱視だな。よりによってお前に惚れるとはよ。
まあわらわにとっては迷惑この上ない話よ。しかし人間の力とは恐ろしいものでな。あれは恐ろしい力を発揮してわらわをこの地へ釘付けにしたのだ。わらわが首を縦に振らぬ限り解放せぬと言ってな。なんとも強引な男よ。
すげえじゃねえかよ。じい様がオカルトかぶれなのは誰もが知るところだが、大魔女ベアトリーチェ様を釘付けにするほどの力があったとはな。へっ、バカバカしい。そんなおかしな話信じると思うか。
やはり信じぬか。
俺が信じるのはお前が森の中の秘密屋敷に隠居していたって事実だけだ。お前こそが六軒島の19人目なんだろう。
In hell. Maybe she was born in there. Which, once again, the implications of Kinzo. Jesus.
いかにも。そなたの想像通り、ここは六軒島の森深く、外界からは見つけることもかなわぬ隠し屋敷。その名もクワドリア。
Nine birds retreat, huh? Curadorian.
そういや、ゲストハウスの正しい名はトライアンだって聞いたな。なるほど。ネーミングセンスは近いな。そしてお前はそこに隠居していたじい様の愛人。そうだな。
愛人というのは正しくない。金蔵の片思いであったと言うべきだろう。
Huh.
先ほども話したであろう。あれが勝手にわらわに惚れた。そしてわらわに求愛したが、それをわらわは拒んだ。そしてわらわをこの隠し屋敷へ閉じ込めたのだ。いや、屋敷に閉じ込めたというのは正しくないか。この体に閉じ込めたというべきか。
Body.
最後が何を言ってるのかわかんねえぜ。
どうせそなたはバカにして聞かぬであろう。何しろ魔女も魔法も信じぬという。語れど聞く耳を持たぬというならば、それを口にするは愚の骨頂だ。
信じるかどうかは俺が判断するぜ。
Yeah, still tell
聞かなきゃ話も進まねえしな。話せよ、お前の昔話を。
金蔵はわらわに求愛を拒まれたが、それ式でへこたれる男ではない。
Yeah, makes sense.
どうあってもわらわの首を盾に振らせたかった。わらわをこの屋敷へ閉じ込め、わらわを口説き落とそうと永遠の時間を費やしたのだ。
We'll explain the multiple times he disappears from the mansion there in the childhood of the siblings.
強引なやつだな。しつこい男は嫌われるだろう。
求愛に応えるかどうかは別にして、男をそこまで必死にさせるのはまあ女としてそう不愉快ではない。しかしわらわは決して首を盾には振らなかった。なんとかその戒めから逃れようとしたが、あれの結界は強固で破れなかった。
それで
さまざまな抵抗を試みた結果、金蔵の結界から逃れるには肉の体を捨てるほかないという結論に至った。
Suicide, huh?
肉体というものは魔法を語る上でとても制約の多い器なのだ。
肉の体を捨てる？なんだよそれ。幽体離脱みたいなものか？
I don't want to call that.
まあそんなものと考えればよい。しかしわらわは精霊ではない。魔女ではあっても、もともとは肉の体で生まれ落ちた人間だ。
Huh.
そのわらわにとって肉体を捨てるということは死を意味するほどではないにしても、それに準ずる覚悟が必要だった。
それはつまり自殺することでしか解放されないと決意したって意味なのか？
自殺ではない。あくまでも肉の体を捨てるだけのこと
Hey, call it whatever you want.
だ。もちろん魂だけになるのは心もとない。魂は肉の体を出れば太陽の強い風に絶えずさらされてしまう。それによって吹き散らされないように自らを維持するのはわらわとて容易なことではない。
Scattered in the wind.
できることなら避けたい最後の手段だった。しかし金蔵の結界から逃れるにはそれしかなかったのだ。何しろわらわは自由人。金蔵の生が果てるまでカゴにて飼われるのはごめんというもの。
You can see this stuff Bito kept going on about throwing away her body of flesh as anything more than suicide, yeah. Grandfather persistently courted her, and to escape from that, she chose her own death?
それで自殺したってのか？何を言ってやがる。当のお前はそこでのんびりガーデンチェアに腰掛けてるじゃねえか。
Yeah?
そうだ。それこそが金蔵によって与えられた新たな檻だったのだ。
檻？この屋敷のことか？
違う。そこのガーデンチェアにてくつろぐわらわの体のことだ。
So Beatrice, as I said before, is kind of like a title. Or it wasn't named, but I see Kinzo sees it more as a title now.
金蔵は魂となって抜け出そうとしたわらわを、それでもなお逃すつもりはなかったのだ。いやいや恐ろしいやつ。普通は 片思いの女が死んでみせれば100年の恋も冷めるであろうに。だからこそあれも魔術師の端くれなのか。
さっぱりわからねえ魔女っ子トークで煙に巻くな。つまり何だってんだ。
金蔵は魂となったわらわすらも逃さなかったということだ。人間の思いというやつは恐ろしい。これほどまでの魔力を発揮するとは。死者の魂をつなぎ止めるなど、それを専門に弓道する魔術師でもおいそれと至れぬ境地よ。わらわはそれを知るからこそ、金蔵の恐るべき魔力にその時初めて驚愕した。そして金蔵はわらわの魂を捕まえ連れ戻したのだ。だが魂を捕らえておく檻は鉄でも鉛でも作れない。ただ一つを除いて。
なんだよ、魔法の檻だとでも言い出すのかよ。
違う。わらわやそなたのようなこの肉の体だ。肉と血でできた檻だけが魂をこの世につなぎ止める。金蔵はわらわの魂をわらわと瓜二つに作り上げた肉の檻に再び閉じ込めたのだ。
Okay, now I'm developing a theory here now within my head. Going to keep going with that theory I came up with earlier at the beginning of the scene of Kinzo. He has that orphanage. He sponsored that orphanage. That's where he got Shannon Cannon. He has a bunch of people. I feel like here's what it is. Got a girl, you know, at a young age from the orphanage, drugged her, did whatever, and Kinzo, just quite fucked up, quite rudely designed her as another Beatrice. I feel like that's what it is. And he made it so she was never connected to a single other person on the island, never connected to the outside world, not connected to anything, and made it so that he kept repeating to her, "Oh, you're Beatrice. You're the master of the mansion. You're the golden witch," you know, over and over to her. And because of she eventually started believing Kinzo. She eventually got rid of those questions of who am I, and she finally reluctantly accepted that she was Beatrice, the Golden Witch. Now, because of that belief, it made her into this sort of witch entity, you know. Once again, magic equals belief. Miracles equals belief. Once again. It doesn't have to be magic at all, actually. It could just be a girl who died, who, like this other Beatrice, who died once more, you know, by suicide perhaps again. And now she's in purgatory, believing her to be, you know, believing herself to be this endless witch. And as a sort of revenge, she has gone through this, the scenario of the usual Mira family conference over and over and over again, just to see the family of Kinzo's to be tortured for all eternity for her own pleasure. And because of that, she's gone through it so many times, she has finally developed this ego, this pride, this arrogance about herself as the Golden Witch. She has finally believed in it. She is 100% in belief of it. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. I'm actually very confident about this theory. I'm like very, very confident. Like, everything seems to connect to each other. It doesn't... I can't, for right now, I can't see any weak points within this, you know, shield I'm creating for myself. But I think that's what this is. Is that Kinzo, after his original Beatrice died, he sought to create another one, called Widoway. And this poor girl was forced to be this old man's fucking doll. Just horrible. Just absolutely horrible. God, but it's good. It's so good. It's horrible, but damn, it's a great fucking writing. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm gonna stick to that for right now.
要約するとこういうことか。じい様がしつこく求愛するんで嫌になり自殺したが、うまく死にきれなかったってことだろう。
And it connects with Rosa claiming to killing the original Beatrice, and therefore how the human Beatrice is able to appear in episode 2. Yeah, I guess then the second Beatrice never did commit suicide, I guess, in the world of episode 2, maybe.
まりくどい言い方しやがってからに。
いや違う。わらわはホムンクルスの種子に魂を閉じ込められ、
Goddamn homunculus.
試験管の中より生まれ入れたのだ。
はあ？バカバカしい。
Great, now we got fancy and sci-fi.
そんなのあるわけねえだろ。
生命を生み出す奇跡すらも金蔵は成し遂げたのだ。わらわの魂を閉じ込める檻にするためだけにな。己の恋心だけでこれほどの魔力を見せるとはつくづく恐ろしいやつよ。
Love, that's an obsession.
ああ、もうさすがにバカバカしくなってきたぜ。好きなだけ言ってろってんだ。俺は何も信じねえぜ。勝手にやってやがれってんだ。
なんだその不愉快な態度は。
最初は何か重大なヒントが隠されているだろうと多少の興味を示したが、聞けば聞くほどおかしな話になっていく。魔女を否定するゲームのはずなのにいつの間にか魔女話を鵜呑みにさせられていく気がするぜ。
Well, I mean, if you look at it from my certain point of view about Orion, it doesn't have to be about witches.
悪いがこれ以上耳を貸す気はねえな。勝手に好きなだけほざいてろよ。耳クソでもほじってるからよ。
When I started acting cold, Bito seemed unusually discouraged. Of course, her expression was still shameless. But in that really easy to understand expression of hers, I had the feeling I was able to catch a glimpse of loneliness at my failure to find the story of her past interesting. For some reason, that subtle reaction made her seem pitiful. So even though I kept my curious attitude, I decided to cover for her slightly. Damn it. Even though she's an irritating witch, I'm still weak against her because her chromosomes are XX. Yeah.
ま、信じる気は毛頭ねえけどよ。続けろよ。お茶菓子代わりに聞いてやるぜ。
わらわの身の上話が茶化扱いとはな。そこまでこき下ろされてまでのこのこ語ると思うか。
Reframing made fun of her. Bito reacted a little sensitive. It looked like, even though making fun of people was her specialty, she was horrible at being made fun of by others. Just then, my black teacup suddenly made a sound, surprising me.
お嬢様の魂は捕らえられ、新しい生命の檻に吹き込まれました。それはつまり、お嬢様が再び人間として生を受けたということです。
Before I realized it, the demon butler had taken my cup and was adding more black tea to it.
ロノウェ、 もうその話はよい。こやつはバカバカしくて危険と言うでな。わらわもバカバカしくて話す気にもならん。
新しいクッキーを今焼かせているところでございます。それまでお茶菓子代わりにお嬢様の昔話がちょうどいいかと思いまして。
もうわらわの話は良いというのに。揃って不愉快な奴らだ。わらわは席を外すぞ。ロノウェ、給仕を済ませたらとっとと下がるのだぞ。バトラと無駄話などするでないぞ。
かしこまりました。努力いたします。
Interesting. She was actually opening up a little bit, a little tiny bit there. No, he's fucking weird because your seven's gonna make me sympathize with her. I just know it because that's his fucking writing. Not yet. You show me a little bit. Mito's short temper, particular to women, which I didn't really understand, took hold of her and she turned her body into gold butterflies, scattered and disappeared. After that, only Wonov and the scent of black tea were left.
なんだか俺が怒らせたみたいで気分が悪いぜ。
Yeah?
ご自覚があられるようですので、これ以上申し上げることはございませんよ。
ちょっと待てよ。とどめを刺したのはお前だろうが。
はて、何のことやら。お砂糖とミルクはいかがですかな。
ミルクだけでいいぜ。あとお茶菓子も欲しいな。
クッキーが焼けるにはまだ時間がかかりますよ。
チャカの代わりがあるって言ったぜ。
Yeah?
かしこまりました。ご清聴をいただけるのでしたら続きをお話しいたします。
ホムンクルスがなんとかって言ったな。一応は知ってるぜ。あれだろ、錬金術高で作り出せ人造人間のことだろ。
Yeah, pretty much.
はい。お嬢様の魂はホムンクルスに閉じ込められ、再び赤子となって生を受け、この世に蘇ったのです。しかし赤子でございますから、金蔵様が愛を語ろうともそれは無駄なことでございます。
まさかじい様はその赤ん坊をこの隠し屋敷に。
Wow, okay. God, that's even more fucked up. Like, even, kidnapping a young girl is fucked up. But her being born here, that's fucked. That's really fucked up, dude. Like, God, Jesus fucking Christ, Kinzo.
同じ年に成長するまで閉じ込めたってのか。
はい。
Jeez.
そのまさかでございます。
Kinzo. So Kinzo had a kid here. A baby. That he's modeled for decades. Literal decades into a copy of Beatrice. That's how much his quote-unquote love for Beatrice is that he's so obsessive about this woman that he created another person. I guess you could say another being with the name of Beatrice. Because he wanted her that bad. Fuck. God, that is... Fuck, man. Jeez. Fuck. That's just... Oh, it's so fucking... Oh, God.
しかし、魂は同じといえど、人間の魂はその器に強く影響を受けます。 お嬢様はかつての記憶を全て失われ、ごく普通の人間の少女として成長されました。
それが、そこのガーデンチェアに座ってるベアートだってのか？
はい、その通りでございます。まさに瓜二つに成長なされました。しかし魔女としての力は持ち合わせておりません。あくまでも人間としてのお嬢様なのです。
Beato, who was sitting in the garden chair, looking up at the sky, voiced that same question again. She asked who she was. The meaning of those words were finally starting to click. She couldn't understand why she was living here all locked up. Grandfather had seized Beatrice's soul, started up in a body of flesh, and then shut that up in a hidden mansion. However, since she had lived here since the time of her birth, she couldn't even understand who she was, or why she had lived shut up in there. Wait. Who would take such a stupid story seriously? Why don't I change my interpretation? In other words, couldn't it be something like this? Grandfather met Beatrice, he then fell in love with her and courted her, but she didn't accept him. Then he flew into a rage and shut her up inside this hidden mansion. Beatrice tried to escape, but no matter what she did, she couldn't succeed. So she finally chose her own death, yep. And then no. Maybe there was a girl who looked just like Beatrice. No, a baby. Grandfather raised this child with care. But maybe he didn't view this child as his daughter. Oh, dude, I didn't want to go. I thought of that direction, but I didn't want to go there. The soul was once again shut up in a cage of flesh. Those words probably meant that he didn't view this kid as her child, but as her reincarnation. Maybe that's what it meant. If you interpret it that way, even a story this weird might make sense, a little sense. No. This might be some bullshit Beato cooked up to confuse me. As if I could accept any of this. In the first place, Cordoran, was it? There's no proof whatsoever that a hidden mansion actually existed. Can this be something she just fabricated on the spot?
六軒島の森の中にはクアドリアンという隠し屋敷が実在します。
Well...
それが今話をしていた場所です。
There you go.
赤
Mornov used the red to say that Cordoran actually existed. Didn't that mean the same thing as the red that Beato used?
これでも悪魔の端くれでございますので、お嬢様には内緒にしてくださいね。
Beato, who knew I would try to trip her up, had grown extremely conscious when using red. To think that Mornov could also use the red. However, it was the red of a crafty man. I didn't know how far I could accept it. But anyway, I might be able to get some kind of hint out of it.
このクアドリアンの庭でくつろいでるベアトとさっきのじい様との会話は真実なのか？
はい、真実です。かつて実際にこの場所でお二人はこのような会話をなされました。
Son of a bitch. Okay. Still doesn't prove witches. Doesn't prove magic. Hell, maybe it's just... Maybe it is. Maybe Kinzo did believe in the whole reincarnation thing because he's interested in the occult. You know, and use that to justify this very fucked up situation here.
助かるぜ。さらに赤で頼む。あいつホムンクルスから生まれたなんて言いやがったが、そんな非科学的な魔法的存在実在するのか？
I doubt he's gonna use that, by the way.
その問いかけにはお答えできません。理由はステイルメイトになるからでございます。
ステイルメイト？なんだそれ。
Stalemate, huh?
チェスの用語で千日手のパーペチュアルと同様にそれ以上のゲーム進行が不可能になる宣言です。これは千日手とは正反対で指し手がなくなるある種の手詰まりの状態を指します。パーペチュアルに同じでチェスではこれを引き分けにしております。ただしお嬢様とバトラ様のゲームでは引き分けがございません。
Yeah.
ですのでステイルメイトになる質問には赤でお答えすることができないのです。
よくわからねえこと言って煙に巻いてるが、つまりホムンクルスなんて魔法的存在が実在するって、
Yeah.
赤で言えないからごまかしてるだけなんだろ。
仮に私が赤で魔女は実在すると言ったら、バトラ様はどういたしますか？
Deny it.
それを信じるか信じないかで俺たちは大喧嘩してるんじゃねえかよ。それを言われちまったら身も蓋もないぜ。ゲームオーバーだ。
魔女は存在すると赤で申し上げたならバトラ様には反論の余地がありません。しかしバトラ様はその理由が示されない以上それを受け入れないでしょう。
Yeah. Cop out.
しかし赤で語られる以上反論の余地もなく証拠も示されない。この場合バトラ様は敗北を認められないにもかかわらず反論の手がなく手詰まりとなってしまいます。チェックメイトされていないにもかかわらず次なる指し手が存在しない。バトラ様が次の一手を打てない以上お嬢様に手番が回ってくることはなく、ゲームはそこで永遠に止まってしまう。その結果お嬢様があなたを屈服させることもできない。これが手詰まりの状態です。それを回避するためこのような形になるご質問には赤でお答えすることができないのです。
早い話が身も蓋もない質問は禁止だとそう言いたいわけだな。まあそりゃそうだよな。赤で魔女は実在するって言われちまったら、俺は花からお手上げだぜ。
ご理解いただけて助かります。他の形の質問でしたらご協力できるかと思いますよ。
奴がはぐらかした副賞要求には答えられるか。この島の人数だ。
お嬢様が保留されている副賞要求にももちろん答えられませんよ。お嬢様の家具でございますので出過ぎた真似はできかねます。
Won't know if made an exaggerated gesture trying to act like a royal retainer. This guy's so shameless.
一瞬でも使えるやつと思ったのによ。諦めて他の質問を探すか。そうだ、大事なことを確認するのを忘れてた。これはベアとの思い出話なんだろ。いつの話なんだ。
Yeah.
まさか現在ってことはないだろ。
はい、ここは1967年の世界。
1967. Okay.
19年前の世界でございます。
Okay, 19 years. Okay. Let's try rearranging this story again. I wonder if it couldn't be something like this. Grandfather fell in unrequited love with a person called Beatrice. Then he confided in her in this hidden mansion and continued to court her. But she was stubborn and didn't give in. Eventually, she grew pessimistic about being able to escape from here, and probably committed suicide. And then, her soul was put in a homunculus, and no. If I accept that, it's the same accepting the witch. I can interpret that part like this. She probably had a posthumous daughter. Grandfather must have believed that her soul had been placed in a new physical body. It might have thought the child was the reincarnation of Beatrice. That means, at least 19 years ago, Bito existed on this island as the 19th person.
混乱してきたぜ。いずれにせよ、憶測の域を出ない。
Yeah.
確実に赤で言えることは、1967年の六軒島の隠し屋敷に人間としてのベアトリーチェが存在した。それだけだ。
その通りでございます。1967年の六軒島の隠し屋敷に人間としてのベアトリーチェ様が存在した。
1967. Okay. So that would... we don't know the ages of the siblings, but, you know, they probably been very young back then as well. But what the hell was Rosa talking about when she said she read to the death of Beatrice? What was she talking about then? You know? But I guess it would match up with Rosa believing in the... And I guess that would match up with the legend as well. Probably Kinzo started it.
Oh, thank you.
So they can never go into the forest.
助かるぜ。
おめでとうございます。これでバトラ様の19人目の駒は、その存在がはっきりしました。
Only 1967, unfortunately, but hey, it's a start.
バトラ様が熱望された18人以外に罪をなすりつけられる19人目の人間。いかなる罪をもなすりつけることのできる生贄の羊。それがお嬢様とは実に愉快。
Warnov laughed in a discreet way. Somehow I didn't like how he put that, so I didn't feel like laughing along with him.
そうだ。ローザおばさんは言った。
Yeah, exactly.
ベアトリーチェは死んだ。
Who the hell is she referring to?
私が殺した？どういう意味なんだ？
それは私の口から語るよりも、実際に顛末をご覧になった方が早いでしょう。少々時計を進めましょう。
Warnov pulled a stylish pocket watch from his pocket and touched the watch then. As soon as he did, I saw gold butterflies gather behind his back and take the form of a person. Was it Bito? I quickly realized it was someone else. No, great. It was her. The oldest sister of the Seven Stakes, who loved tormenting me more than her 3 meals a day. But I don't consider myself lucky to see that sexy ass! Have you ever, you know, read a line and you didn't think of the line until the word you say it? Till like you hear your own voice say it? I didn't even process that fast enough until I said it. Oh my god. Okay. I won't be able to keep up with your torture. Dude, these fucking games get me sometimes, I swear. With just the out of the fucking blue lines. Okay. I won't be able to keep up with your torture game. God damn it, now that's a clip. Fuck. Ah, shit.
ロノウェ様、まだこちらにおられましたか。ベアトリーチェ様が至急お呼びです。
はって至急のどのようなご用やら。少々バトラ様とのおしゃべりが過ぎたようですね。それではバトラ様、 私めはこれで失礼させていただきます。どうか引き続きお嬢様とのゲームをお楽しみください。
へいへい。
Gee, thanks, man.
せいぜい楽しむぜ。あんたはデアトより話が弾むからな。赤も気前よく使ってくれるしよ。ぜひまたおしゃべりに来いよな。
バトラ様、私めもこう見えてもお嬢様の家具、お嬢様が望まぬことはできませんよ。私が語った赤は本来ならお嬢様が自らの口で語るべきもの。へそを曲げてしまわれたお嬢様に代わって若き真実を披露したに過ぎません。
やっぱ俺へそを曲げてたよな。
Seeing me and Wano incomprehensibly hitting it off, that steak Nichan cocked her head curiously.
ロノウェ様、ベアトリーチェ様をお待たせしております。お急ぎを。
ええ、直ちに参ります。それではバトラ様、後ほど。ようやく仲良くなれてきましたね。やはり良い友人になれる気がします。
デアとの陰口仲間ってことならな。
ロノウェ様。
はいはい。それでは失礼いたします。
Maybe she didn't like seeing him act so front with me. Maybe she really had been told to hurry. When the steak Nichan let out a thunderous cry, Wonov laughed furiously and disappeared, as if running away.
煉獄の七杭が長女のこの私がこの程度の用事で呼びつけられるなんて。ベアトリーチェ様もこの程度なら他の暇そうな妹たちに言いつければいいのに。
何をカリカリしてんだよ姉ちゃん。腹減ってんならクッキーでも食えよ。最後の一枚をくれてやるぜ。
I mean, there's a whole fucking plate of them over there.
気が利くじゃない。なら一ついただこうかしら。
I casually pushed the snack plate with the last remaining cookie over to her.
ありがとう。
As though coming as a period at the end of the sentence, a sharp sound pierced the table. The nails on three of her fingers extended, grew sharp, and pierced the space between my fingers on the hand that was pushing the plate, missing them by a hair's breadth. It had happened in an instant, so for a while I didn't even realize that her fingernails had grown. The tips of those sharp nails were like blades with red manicure. The spaces between the bases of my fingers hurt sharply. Ow. Those razor-like blades had been plunged into the table a hair's breadth away from the back of my hand to my fingers. Because of those three blades, I was unable to even let my Kira's right hand tremble, and by now all I could do was let a bead of cold sweat drip down.
姉ちゃん、そろそろ爪を切った方がいいぜ。
ルシファーよ。それが誇り高き私の名。
Whatever you say, Lucy.
ベアトリーチェ様にお仕えする名誉ある家具、煉獄の七杭の長女。他の面汚しな愚昧どもとはわけが違うの。それに見合った敬意を示さないと後悔することになるわよ。
どう後悔するんだか。俺には見当もつかねえぜ。
バカな子ね。そんなに遊んでほしいの？そんなに忘れられないの？私の悔いを思いっきり奥の奥までねじ込んでたっぷりえぐって楽しませてあげるわよ。
Really get off to this, don't you?
くそったれ。いつか押し倒して同じセリフ言ってやるぜ。
Yep.
あらそう楽しみにしてるわね
Ouch. Meanwhile, Rosa eventually regained her calm. The men wanted to hurry her into talking faster, but Kyrie intervened. Something like that really had happened, and it would have been a terrible experience that Rosa wouldn't want to remember. After taking several deep breaths with her hand over her chest, it seemed that she had more or less resolved herself to talk.
あれはいくつの時だったのかしら多分中学生かよく覚えてないとにかくそのくらいの頃だったと思うわ
ってことはだいたい20年くらい前ってとこか
20 years ago.
あの頃の私はあまり成績が良くなくて私なりに努力していたつもりだったんだけど
Okay. This takes place 1987 or 86, right? If I remember correctly. Actually, let me think it should say here. No, it doesn't. Fuck.
お母様の期待には全然応えられなくて
That would be in the 60s, because it's 2 decades before the 80s. But would it be exactly 67? What does this take place? 86 or 87? It's not 88. It's either 87 or 86. I think it's 87. That would match up with 1967. God.
母上はローザにも随分厳しかったな。当時は同情していたよ。
陰口ばっかだったくせによく言うわね。
予算かエヴァ。それでローザさんはどこでベアトリーチェに会ったんや。
秀吉さん、今はせかしてはダメよ。いいのよ、ローザさん。
Actually, no. When they were referring to the thing, 1967, Beatrice was human. They said 19 years ago, right? Wait. Let me check something. How can I check the log again? Oh, here we go. Let me actually look at this because it's actually very important. God. Okay, here we go. The world of 19 years previous. Okay, so this would take place 1966. All right. Okay, 1966. This story takes place. Okay.
楽に話して。
ありがとうあれはお母様に特にひどく叱られた日よ
Even though my tutor had promised to keep it a secret, apparently they told Mother all about how I had complained. Mother scolded me brutally, saying my name was a disgrace to the Ushiro family. Of course, I was doing the best I could. But I had none of Cross Nissan's dignity. I couldn't get excellent grades like Eva Nissan, and I had no leadership abilities like Rudolph Nissan. I never stood out, didn't particularly excel at anything, and I found myself asking why I'd even been born into the Ushiro family. I began to question more and more why I'd even been born at all. This is what happened on the day I experienced my mind going blank for the first time. For the first time in my life, I realized that in addition to facing and surrendering to my problems, I had the third choice of running away. Though I say run away, there was no way I could have left Wokonjima and gone somewhere else. But anyway, I wanted to run away from the mansion and my own self at that time. In a way, it was like a kid running away from home, or maybe a passive sort of suicide.
いなくなりたかったのあるいはいなくなることによって 親を心配させたいという子供なりの反抗だったのかも。私は森の遥か奥に行けば後ろ宮の家から逃れられる、あるいは迷子になって心配させることで仕返しができると子供ながらに思ったの。
それで行ってはいけないと言われていた森に？
ええ、浜辺へ出てから海に沿うように。特に理由があったわけじゃないけれど、島をぐるりと回ればその反対側には誰も知らない場所があって、私だけの隠れ家になるような気がしたの。
Float alongside the ocean, huh?
浜辺からぐるっとってのは無理だな。途中で崖になっちまうだろう。あんなとこ通れるわけがねえぜ。
もちろんよ。だから通れる方へ通れる方へ、とにかく奥へ奥へ進んだわ。道なんかないひどい森だったけど、あの時の私にはそれが心地よかったの。それほどの険しい森を抜けたなら、その分後ろ宮家から逃れられるって、そんな気持ちだったの。
情けないわね。成績で叱られたならその分努力すればいいのに。
それを言ってはいかんね。その代わりローザにはデザイナーとしての才能があったじゃないか。
Brutally speaking, Harry was covering for Rosa, but everyone knew that Rosa's company had been profitable.
よせよ。今は嫌味を言ってる場合じゃねえぜ。
Could you guys actually shut the fuck up for once?
そして偶然たどり着いちまったんだな。ベアトリーチェの隠し屋敷に。
Rosa nodded bleakly.
どのくらい歩いたんや。地図で場所が示せるんか。夏さん、この島の地図はあるかいな。
いえ、今ここにはありませんが。
無理よ。適当に歩いただけだもの。地図を見せられたってわからないわ。それにあれから20年も経ってる。
20 years.
多分森へ行っても二度とたどり着けないわ。
So once again, the year the story takes place is 1966. Several people let out dejected sighs. It was vividly clear that in their haste they'd fought some hidden wounds to the witch's epitaph. Or maybe even the gold itself might be resting there.
六軒島はこの屋敷の周りが整地されているだけに過ぎねえ。他は完全に未開で、前頭測量は相当の手間がかかるだろうな。
でも確かに存在すると分かっただけでも収穫よ。お金はかかるだろうけど、例えば航空写真の会社に調査を頼むとか、このお屋敷を建設した業者に当時のことを聞くとか、調べる方法はあるかもしれないわね。
そうね。あるかないかもわからないものを探すよりはまだ方法があるはずよ。
早速調べる価値があるだろう。
その調査は兄弟合同でやるわよ。兄さん一人ではさせないわ。
It wasn't yet certain that the gold was hidden in that secret mansion, but the sparks seemed to have started flying between Klaus and Ava already.
兄貴たち、今はよせよ。ローザ、続きを話してくれ。
Well, this is a new track. Blind way, random way, kept running on and on. Suddenly, I came across something I thought was an animal trail. I was very tired and had no idea how far I'd walked. So at that time, I naturally took the easiest path. one big fence. As I did, suddenly right before my eyes, a very, very tall fence appeared. It was a fence wonderfully adorned in a Gothic style. For an instant, I thought I'd gotten turned around and returned to the original mansion. Of course, there were fences around the mansion to stop us from entering the forest, but this fence was decorated differently. Moreover, it was very tall. It probably reached a full 2 stories up. Damn. It was covered with ivory and created a mysterious, solemn atmosphere. At the time, I believed in the legend of the Witch of the Forest, Beatrice. Yep. I had been told that she was frightening. But some of the servants told me that she'd sometimes help you if you respected her. Since I had little confidence in those days, I believed the only way I could be saved was by receiving her help. That's why I fought what I did. I believed that this was the fence of the mansion belonging to Beatrice, the Witch of that forest. I thought that if I could meet with Beatrice, she'd definitely save me. So I decided to try going in. But the fence was very, very tall, and it didn't look like I'd be able to go over it. So I chose to walk around it. I thought that if I did, I'd eventually reach a gate. But it wasn't that easy. The fence had incredible length to match its incredible height, and no matter how far I went, I didn't reach a corner. It might have encircled a massive area. Or maybe I just then pushed him because my child legs made it difficult to walk in the forest. Anyway, I couldn't find a gate for a while, and I started to feel sad as though the witch had rejected me. As I did, I eventually came upon a large tree whose twisted root had bent the fence. I might get my clothes dirty, but if I crawled, it looked like I'd been able to sneak in.
そこが隠し屋敷だったの。あれが私たちの言う隠し屋敷なのかはわからない。でも少なくとも私たちの知る場所ではなかったわ。
It wasn't as though I came out into the garden as soon as I passed the fence. I had to continue through one more uncultivated forest after that. Damn. There it is. As I did, the forest suddenly opened up. And what appeared there was an unbelievably fantastical scene. To think that along Wokenjima, where I thought only we lived, there could be such a wonderful mansion hidden away. A beautiful flower garden spanned the front of the mansion. It was a flower garden of a completely different design from the rose garden we know so well, and it was very lovely. Of course, the mansion was also wonderful. It was a couple sizes smaller than ours, but it was still elegant and adorable at the same time. Then, I saw her figure. I saw her sitting in the garden chair, positioned to give a view of the flower garden, wearing an elegant dress. It was that black dress embroidered in that gold that we would later know from that portrait. I hadn't seen an elegant dress like that except in fairy tales and on the stage of musicals. For a person to be wearing it as her normal clothes, that in itself seemed quite fantastical. The mysterious scene was enough to make me lose my sense of reality. If someone had told me that it was a dream, I might have nodded obediently and waited to wake up in my bed. I had forgotten to hide myself in my shock, so she eventually spotted me. At first, her expression was quite listless, but when she noticed me, her eyes opened very wide. It was only natural, considering that a guest she didn't know had suddenly appeared. I lowered my head automatically, planning to greet her and apologize for entering without permission.
Sonata wa dare ka? 新しい庭師なのか?
Those were the first words she said to me. I grew slightly calmer, because I realized that we could talk to each other. Because I hadn't been turned into a frog just by meeting her eyes like a terrifying witch in a fairy tale.
ごめんなさい。勝手にお庭に立ち入ってすみません。
そなたは誰か名乗るがよい。
後ろ宮ローザと言います。
後ろ宮。ほう、金蔵の一族の人間なのか？
はい、金蔵の娘です。こんにちは。
I was a little surprised. After all, father was a great man, feared by everyone. And yet she had spoken of him without using honorifics. So I was immediately terrified of her. After all, if she could refer to my fearsome father that way, she must be a witch with incredible power. After staring at me curiously, she beckoned me to come over. Fine as I was, I obeyed. After all, I thought she might really turn me into a frog. The closer I got, the stronger that fear became. After all, as I keep saying over and over, that woman in her dress in the flower garden in the mansion, that whole picture was so fantastical and beautiful that it seemed separate from reality. It probably wouldn't have surprised me at all to learn that she really was a witch. And I was really lucky. She hadn't turned me into a frog. As I awkwardly stood there, stock still, she motioned me to an open chair and urged me to sit down.
座るがよい。初めて訪れた者を庭へ招き、語らうのがわらわの唯一の楽しみよ。他に何の楽しみもないがな。
As she said this, she let an unhappy smile show for just an instant. Because I was full of a strange mix of tension and excitement, I rudely asked her a question all of a sudden.
森の魔女ベアトリーチェですか？
いかにも、わらわがベアトリーチェである。
やはりな。ベアトリーチェは実在したんだ。
その姿はまさに肖像画の。
Okay, so okay, this is super important. What does Rosa mean by killing her in 66?
ええ、まさにあの肖像画の通りよ。
お父さんの想像の中の魔女じゃなかったんやな。
それであなたは彼女と何を話したの？
彼女はお茶を入れながら私のことをいろいろと聞いたわ。まず森を抜けてやってきたことを驚かれた。彼女は柵の外には危険な狼がたくさんいると信じていたみたいだった。だから私が森を抜けてたどり着いたと言ったらとても驚いていたわ。どうやって狼から逃れたのか、ビスケットを渡して許してもらったのか、それとも魔法の街灯をかぶってなんて感じのことを言ってたっけ。
Magic Quokka. God, what if Kinzo really didn't point his magic occult bullshit onto this girl? Honestly, the more and more we get into this, more and more I'm convinced it was all Kinzo's idea. You know, this whole story of him summoning a witch in order to gain his fortune. Why would he make it up? I don't know. Maybe add spice to his wife or whatever. Make him seem more important than he really is. And he did have a mistress named Beatrice, and she died, and so maybe her daughter or some other child groomed. Yeah, he groomed. This is literally grooming. Groomed into being another Beatrice and told her all these tales of magic that she was able to do, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe, but it sounds more and more likely as we continue on.
そりゃ確かに魔女っぽいわな。面白いお人や。
あなた黙って。ずいぶん昔だけど、お父様は森には狼が住んでいるから近寄ってはならないって私たちを脅さなかった？
ああ、そんなこともあったな。バカらしいね。日本の狼はとっくの昔に絶滅しているというのに。まさに子供騙しだな。
記憶にねえな。そんな話親父に聞かされたっけ？森には魔女だろ？狼なんて話聞いたことないぜ。
あんたがまだ小学校だった頃よ。覚えてない？そしたらあんたむしろ狼を撫でてみたいなんて言い出すもんだから、お父様はすぐに狼の話を引っ込めて魔女の話に切り替えたのよ。
は。
もうその嘘っぽいことと言ったら
当時のルドルフには狼よりも魔女の話の方がてきめんだったね。よく覚えているよ。私の背中にしがみついた夜があったことを覚えているかね。
ルドルフさんにもそんな可愛らしい時代があったのね。
うるせえな。子供の頃の話だぜ。
まあとにかくベアトリーチェを閉じ込めていたのがお父さんなら、同じ狼の話をするのは道理ね。彼にとって六軒島の広大な森は後ろ宮家と愛人の屋敷という相入れない二つの異世界を分断する越えてはならない壁だったのだから。
What a double wife, huh?
柵の高さを考えると、どうやら親父殿は庭ごと丸々を座敷牢にしたようだな。さながら二つの世界を分ける国境も同然だったのだろう。
Border dividing two separate worlds. In Twilight is the precipice of night and day, and in some cultures, the intermingling of the supernatural and reality into one. And now we have this. Two separate mansions, but on the same island. Separated as well. Huh. Isn't that an interesting parallel, huh?
狼はともかく野犬の類でもいたのではありませんか？そのための策だったかもしれません。六軒島に狼も野犬もいないわ。
Come on, Natsui, don't try to protect Kinzo.
その策は兄さんやキリエさんの言うようにベアトリーチェと私たちの間の国境だったんでしょうね。
Reality and fantasy.
しかし狼の話を素直に信じるなんて、なんちゅうか純朴やな。わしの想像していた魔女とは随分違う感じやで。
そうね、それは私も感じたわ。とても尊大で確かに魔女のイメージ通りの人だったんだけど、どこかとても子供っぽくて、なんていうのか素直すぎるというか、世間知らずな印象を受けたわ。例えるなら本当におとぎの国の人みたいというか、本当に不思議な人だったわ。
それからどうしたんだ？親父の話とかは出たのかい？
ええ、 何日かに一度、約束されている日もあれば突然の日もあったそうだけど、ふらりとお父様が訪れては一緒にお茶を飲んだり散歩したりしたんですって。私が訪れたその日はたまたま彼女一人だったと言っていたわ。
なるほどな。まさに愛人といったところだ。やれやれ。いくつ年下か知らんが、親父殿もやるね。
いかがわしい意味での交流はなかったと確信しています。
バカね。男と女の多さに色気がないはずないじゃない。それでどうしたの？それから何の話を？
私の自己紹介をしたので、逆に彼女のことを質問したわ。そうしたら急に雰囲気が落ち込んでしまったの。なんていうのか、とても気だるそうな、寂しそうな。私が初めて彼女の顔を見た時に浮かべていたのと同じ表情だった。
まあ秘密の愛人だからな。好き勝手に歩かれてお袋に見つかっちまったらことだ。きっと軟禁に近い状態だったろう。綺麗なドレスに綺麗な屋敷や庭があっても、さぞや窮屈な思いをしてたんだろうぜ。そりゃ苦労もあったろうさ。それで
彼女はきっと何か悩みがあった。それを私に話したところで何の解決にもならないと、私もとても悲しかったのを覚えてる。私と一緒にいることさえ忘れてしまったかのようで、遠くをぼんやり見ながらずっと無言でいたわ。私はきっと失言してしまったに違いないと思ったんだけど、謝罪の言葉すらも口にしていいような雰囲気じゃなくて。だから私も彼女が私と一緒にいることを思い出してくれるまでずっと黙ってた。
And then she muttered unexpected way.
柵の向こうには本当に狼などおらぬのか？
はい。狼なんて動物園でも見たことないです。
動物園とは何か？
いろんな動物が飼われているところです。象とかキリンとかパンダとか珍しい動物がいっぱいいますよ。
動物園に狼はいないのか？
なら怖くないかもしれんな。狼がいたとしても動物はみんな檻に入ってますから安全です。だから安心して見学できるんですよ。
The mighty witch of the forest was apparently terrified of wolves. I remember it looked pretty funny to me at the time.
それはわらわとどう違うの？
She didn't know about zoos. I explained how fun zoos could be, but it was very difficult for a person like her who had never visited one to understand. On the contrary, as I explained it to her, her expression grew increasingly dismal. She couldn't see the difference. Apparently, even though she lived in an elegant mansion that was surrounded by a high fence and seemed to lack for nothing, she couldn't see how she was any different from animals shut up in cages.
わらわは何者なのか。皆はわらわのことをベアトリーチェと呼ぶ。それは確かにそなたの言うように偉大な魔女の名前らしい。
はわらわではないのだ。わらわには魔法など何も使えぬ。わらわはその魔女の魂をこの身に封じられているだけなのだ。
Huh. There was definitely something odd about her. Beyond just being cut off from the world, it seems she truly believed that magic exists. I think she talked about lots of weird things, but I don't remember the details. All I thought was that this might be a person to be pitied. She was unable to leave this mansion of her own free will, a prisoner without even realizing it. And she didn't know anything about the outside world, didn't even understand who she was. She probably vaguely realized that she was to be pitied. But since she didn't know anything, she seemed incapable of recognizing her own unhappiness. Long ago, when I told Nissan that I felt sorry for a bird in the cage, he said this. A bird that only knows about the inside of the cage doesn't long for the outside. But this wasn't a bird. She really was a person. Even if she'd never been outside the cage, she understood that there was more to the world. So, I invited her.
柵の外へ出てみますか？本当に狼はいないのか？いないですよ。絶対平気ですから。出たいぞ。だが、いつも門は閉まっている。私が入ってきたところがあります。くぐり抜けられる隙間があるんです。そこを抜ければ外の世界があるのか。はい。狼は本当にいないはい、来ませんよ。
I only planned on inviting her to go on a short walk, but she kept looking over her shoulder at the mansion as though she was seriously worrying over the decision. Then I learned what she was preparing herself for.
わらわはもうここは嫌だ。
Now remembering back to the first scene of the woman that called herself Beatrice, her teacher, and how she referred to this Beatrice as, you know, a princess, and Beatrice thought to herself that her grandfather would be mad at the broken vase. Grandfather. I want to be Kinzo. I want to be just father. But who the hell was she referring to as grandfather at the beginning then? Anyway.
出たい。そしてわらわが何者で、この世界はどうなっていて、わらわは何のために生まれてきたのかを知りたい。
I don't know what her life had been like before then. That was probably something she could express easily. Well, if it was hard, she just had to say she wanted to escape. If it was sweet, she just had to say she'd stay. For example, maybe it was like how a hot fireplace on a winter day makes the air get thicker and thicker, giving you a headache. Even though you know you shouldn't keep things the way they are, you still need courage to open the window and be tormented by the cold wind. She was starting to realize that she couldn't stay there forever. She was starting to realize that she had to go outside someday. But since she didn't know about the outside world, she must have needed courage to take that unspeakable first step outside. And despite that, she had made her decision. She'd voiced her decision to go outside, a decision she was probably making for the first time in her life. I hesitated for a moment. Father had decided that she should live here. She was like Father's beloved bird in a cage. If I just let her escape, Father might scold me harshly.
見たい。え？何を？動物園が見たいのだ。
God damn it. Oh, god damn it. I was just a little surprised when she finally gave me a gentle smile. Could that have been the farsightedness brought about by her decision to venture out from her cage? It was a smile so gentle I couldn't imagine that it had come from the once dark face.
そなたと話すと知らないことばかり出てくる。わらわは学校なるものもわからぬし、動物園も知らぬ、映画館も知らぬ、遊園地も知らぬ。そしてそれを知りたいと心の底から思う。そなたはわらわをそこへ連れて行ってくれるのか？
One episode, and oh my heart. God damn it, Ryukyushio 7, fuck. I was nervous about how I could keep it a secret from Father. But her face looked so happy, so I went along with her and nodded. But she seemed not to notice the meaning behind my vague smile. She seemed to believe that I'd really take her to all those places. She was pure and genuine. She'd probably never been tricked by anyone. No, maybe it's better to say that she never learned how to doubt. Her smile was somehow radiant and yet pathetic. I wanted to find a way to grant her modest wish.
わらわはもうベアトリーチェは嫌だ。わらわが何者なのか知りたい。ベアトリーチェではない新しい人間を始めたい。だからここから連れ出してほしい。もう紅茶もいらぬ、ドレスもいらぬ、金蔵とも二度と会わぬ。ここよりわらわを連れ出してくれ、ローザ。
However, that responsibility was one that a child like me couldn't hope to fully bear. Still, when I saw her serious gaze, along with that brilliant smile that made it look as though the possessing spirit had left her, I could feel a little courage start to rise up inside me. This was definitely something that would get me into a lot of trouble. And yet, it was definitely the right thing to do. I'll take her out, but I'll take her away from here. Of course, I won't be able to talk to Father and not Mother either. Should I talk to Onisama or Onichama? No, what about that reliable Genji-san? Oh, that's right. What about Kumasawa-san, to whom I can always talk when I'm in trouble? I'm sure they'll be able to do something. Anyway, for now, I'll take her out of here. This was already a place she didn't want to be. So I took her to the crack in the fence and led her outside. She was all nervous, checking to make sure there were no wolves around. But once that fear disappeared, even just walking around this dense forest seemed to be fun somehow. Every time she found something, she asked me about it. And they were all really trivial things. What's that flower? What's that leaf? That sound. That smell. It was really like the inside of that fence had been an entire world. So now that she traveled beyond the limits of her world, it's strange. When I first saw her, I really thought she was the witch herself relaxing inside the witch's mansion. But now it was different. Or actually the complete opposite. She left a world she believed to be finite, and was overjoyed at the realization that the world was endless, something she never thought of before. So everything she saw was new. It was almost as though she was the one who had been thrown into a fairy tale. If she was Alice, and I felt almost like a rabbit holding a watch. To her, it was probably a really fun walk, filled to the brim with excitement. But I was actually the loss of what to do. After all, I walked randomly to get there. Of course, I didn't know the way back to our mansion. There were no lights in the forest, and I hadn't bought a flashlight. I realized it would be terrible if it got dark while we were still like this, and we were patient. She was too innocent, and apparently she couldn't understand at all how fun it would be to face the night inside the forest. But I was the one who brought her outside. I had to take responsibility somehow and resolve this situation. So I had a thought. Let's go out to the ocean for now. If we then follow the beach around, we should eventually make it back to the mansion. However, that was much more of a problem than I imagined. I didn't have a map or a compass. There was no way I could walk in a strange line through an uncultivated forest. I nearly lost my sense of direction. I already had no clue which trail I had come by and was completely lost. At this rate, night would definitely fall before I had a clue where to walk. But this was no time to cry. After all, that woman following behind me was so innocent and having so much fun. So I definitely had to lead the way through this forest. For the sake of her smile as well. Gritting my teeth so that she didn't see me looking troubled. I pushed my way through the woods, eventually down a path that wasn't a path. Then, after going through various troubles, I fortunately managed to reach the ocean. At that time, I still didn't even have a clue where I was on the island. But for the time being, I was just a little reassured, realizing that if I just went around this way, I would truly be able to return to the mansion. However, though, when I had reached the ocean, we were at the top of a rock cliff. The beach was far below us. I was tired from walking around the forest for so long, so I figured that an open area, even a rocky beach, would probably be much easier to walk in. So I suggested that we go down that rocky cliff somehow. It looked pretty dangerous, but I figured there was no other way. However, Beatrice agreed to my plan without any doubts. Even though she was probably older than me, she meekly obeyed, almost as though she were some kind of chick who thought I was her mother. Oh. I should just see if there was some part of the cliff I'd be able to get down. Then I found a place where the cliff had fallen over and made a slope. It looked a little dangerous, but if I went down using both hands and both legs like I was crawling, I thought it'd probably be okay.
ここを降りましょう。気をつけないと危ないけど。とにかく海岸に降りて、あとは沿って歩けば、もう迷わずに済むと思うの。
ローザがそうするのならそうしようぞ。わらわは迷うとやらも楽しいぞ。とても愉快だ。
She really had no sense of danger. There were probably no doubt that she lived a life without discomfort. Even though she knew it would get dark when night fell, she couldn't imagine how dangerous the inside of a forest could be without a light. Furthermore, it seemed that she couldn't grasp at all how dangerous it might be if she fell from the cliff. I warned her repeatedly to be careful. I cautiously examined her potential route down. It seemed to be quite a long drop. I think it might have been about 10 meters down. If you looked at it from the bottom up, it would probably have looked shorter than the roof of the mansion. But looking from the top, it felt almost like staring down from the observation room in Tokyo Tower. But Beatrice still appeared to be completely without fear. It felt as though she had never been taught that high places were dangerous. No, maybe she believed that she was a witch, and that she could fly, so there wasn't any need to worry.
気をつけてくださいね。結構高いから。
気をつけるぞ。下へ降りたら海があるな。そこに水族館があるのか。
いえ、 この島には水族館はないですよ。でも海にはたくさんの魚がいると思います。
そうか、魚はいるのか。そなたが話してくれたクジラとかイルカとかペンギンとかはいるのか。
いえ、そういうのは水族館に行かないといないです。水族館は島を出ないとないですよ。
そうなのか。だが楽しみだ。クジラとはどんな魚なのか。
すっごく大きな魚で、あれ、哺乳類かな。それで潮を吹いたりします。
ほう。ならばイルカは？
頭のいい魚で、あれ、これも哺乳類だっけ。
God, why is this really getting to me? God damn it, it really is. Fuck, man.
とても頭が良くて芸とかを覚えられるんですよ。
ならばペンギンはどうなのか。
あれ、これは鳥類だっけ。
なんだ、水族館なのにさっきから魚が出てこんぞ。
まあその魚だけでなくいろいろな海の生き物がいっぱいいるんですよ。
ほほー、それはとても楽しみだ。
Oh shit, no! She let out what might have been a funny, rushed and short cry. No, it was probably a scream. It came right out of the blue. Her body separated from the cliff and silently fell. I immediately wanted to say something to her. I wanted to say, didn't I tell you to be more careful? It was the thought of a child. It was how a child immediately gets mad when something bad happens, trying to find an excuse to show it wasn't their fault. Of course I said it out loud. Are you okay? Didn't I warn you over and over? Fuck. God damn. I almost had a tear from I could feel the water coming to her. Shit. Man. God damn it.
崖から落ちてどうなった？
彼女はどうしたんだ、ローザ。
Rosa fell silent. Her gaze dropped to her feet as though she was seeing through the floor into some disgusting memory.
死んだのね。
Ava's brutal words were the ones Rosa had most wanted to avoid. And when she was hit with them, she screamed in resignation.
死んだわ。岩浜だったもの。尖った危険な岩がたくさんむき出しになっていた。目を見開いたまますごい血が溢れ出してたちまち真っ赤な絨毯を広げていった。声をかけたわ、揺さぶったわ。でも彼女は返事はおろか瞬きすらも。いえ、私が悪いのよ。彼女はドレス姿だったのよ。あんな動きにくい格好なのをしていたのに、私が壁壁を降りようなんて言ってしまったから。彼女はすごい素直だったから。 私の言うことに何の疑いもせずに従って。
いつまで死んでいるつもりか。いい加減に目を覚ませ。まったくわらわの預かり知れぬところで勝手に肉塊に姿を変えようって。
おめえのとこの太もも姉ちゃんとイチャついてただけだぜ。それよりこれはどういうことだ。
Another thing, okay. Now we have a huge problem here. This was 20 years ago, 66. Then in 67, in red text, that pair was there. Beatrice was a human in 67. So, how is that possible?
見たままよ。わらわは足を踏み外して転落し死んだ。
なんだと？19人目として登場しておきながら死んだだと？避けるな。そんなわけはない。
How?
ローザおばさんは子供だったし焦ってた。医者がいたわけでもない。多分死んだと誤解しただけで、お前は多分その仮死状態か何かで生きていたんだ。そうだろ。
It can't be true. She's gotta be alive. Otherwise, how can she be here? The kid age on Rosa shook Beatrice's body, crying. I stared inside her face too, but her eyes were still open and really was a corpse. I wanted to dodge the issue by saying something vague like she must be point dead. But no matter how I looked at it, it didn't look fake at all. It really did look like she was dead. Beatrice had fallen upside down from a cliff of that height, and her head had been smashed against the pointed tip of those sharp rocks. Jesus. You would die, wouldn't you, after landing on those rocks from that height? But I couldn't accept it. No matter how dead she looked, she had to be alive. That she went on to become this damn irritating witch. That makes all the inconsistencies fit. Grandfather must have kept her confined constantly in a mansion. Then, to take revenge for that, she committed several atrocious murders. Aunt Rosa probably just mistakenly thought she was dead. But she was actually alive, and as soon as Aunt Rosa left, she would miraculously believe again. Then she somehow lived until today and opened the current on her revenge drama. Otherwise, the facts don't fit together.
そう簡単には騙されねえぞ。赤で復唱できるか？確かに死んだと。
Yeah.
どうせ生きてるんだろ？見え見えだぜ。
それのどこが生きているように見えるというのか。間違いなく死んでいる。
Shit. My theory that the 19th person was grandfather's mistress, a human Beatrice, had been defeated. I had planned to strike back from a defensive position, but...
なら、お前は何者だってんだ?
20 years ago. I'm not. I saw it. I looked in the logs. Wolnov referred to that period where we saw the flashback as 19 years ago. This was 20. This is 66. Then in 67, she's somehow alive again. How is that possible if she's actually dead here? Oh, shit.
お前はたった今死んだんだろうが。まさか魔法で蘇ったとか言い出すんじゃねえだろうな。
すでに説明したと思うがな。そこに倒れているわらわは確かに魂はわらわだが、その体はわらわをうつしおへつなぎ止めておく肉の檻に過ぎなかった。そしてその肉の檻がこうして壊れた。 それがどういうことかわかるか？
もうさっぱりだぜ。好きなだけ魔女っ子トークに興じろ。チャカの代わりに聞いてやら。なんだ空っぽか。おい、紅茶のおかわりを頼むぜ。
ロノエ、客人が紅茶をお望みだ。
When Bito clapped her hands, Wano appeared. But we're sure are convenient.
おかわりですね。かしこまりました。
God, if only I could get a refill on my Coke. It's been empty for over an hour.
どの程度お継ぎしましょうか。
どうせチャカがボリューム満点だろうからよ。半分でいいぜ。
それでもなみなみとお入れするのが英国式でございますよ。
I mean, hell, that's what I do too. Even though just enough to wet my throat would have been fine, he filled it to the top. I turned my back to Bito, sipping it in silence.
ちょっと目を覚ましてよ。ベアトリーチェ。
Rosa shook me. No, shook the corpse that had once been me. I watched over her from a short distance away. So I fell from there and died. For a while I believed that was true. I saw Rosa spend a long time beside my corpse and watched her as she ran away. Eventually I realized I was a different individual from that corpse.
そうか。わらわか。ようやく金蔵の戒めから逃れられたのか。
Eventually I felt the memory returning. The fact that I was an endless witch who had lived for 1,000 years. That I remembered that I'd been summoned by Kinzo and that I'd been imprisoned by him for a long time. While being imprisoned in a cage of flesh, I completely lost my memory as a witch. However, thanks to Rosa, if you could say that. Thanks to my accidental death, I'd now finally gained myself.
ローザ、そなたはわらわを死なせてしまったと後悔しているだろうが、わらわにとっては感謝したいくらいよ。
I couldn't see Rosa anymore. Did she go to the doctor, or was she so terrified that she ran away? It was no longer matters. The soulless shell no longer has any value. And yet I'm so frail now. Even this glorious midday sun is agony to me. I destroyed my human form. Then I changed it into several gold butterflies. Yes, with my magical power as far as it is now, this form is easier to maintain. To escape even a little from the light of the sun, I rode the wind and gently flew up the side of the cliff. It will probably be a bit colder in the forest. Anyway, I'll take some time to recuperate and regain my former power. As I ponder how to make Kinzo pay up all he owes me. Dancing alone through the air, I looked down at the shore one more time. On the rocky shore lay the figure of what had once been me, the figure I would eventually regain. To regain the form of that physical body I had thrown away would probably take more than 100, 200 days. It might require 1,000 days or perhaps even more. However, I am the Endless Witch, the Golden Witch who has lived for 1,000 years. Waiting any countable number of days would be no problem. Oh, Kinzo. Regret that you are not here now. No longer will you be able to capture me. Huh. Huh. Goddamn cackle.
それで、お前は黄金の蝶に姿を変え、森の中に潜んで魔力が回復するのを待った。ってのか?
No, I'm going to keep going until we get to the end of the chapter. Fuck it.
そういうことだ。そなたを嘲笑するためにこの姿を取るが、本来は蝶たちの姿でいた方が魔力的には楽なのだ。
Huh, okay.
無理しねえで楽な格好で嫌がれよ。ムカつく笑い声を聞かずに済むぜ。
蝶に姿を変え森に紛れたわらわを探し出すことなど、もはや金蔵には不可能なこと。だが金蔵も指を加えているわけではなかった。しかしわらわを捕らえる方法はすぐに用意はできぬ。そのためまずはわらわをこの島から逃さぬ方法、そしてわらわが力を取り戻すことがないよう即座に手を打ったのだ。やれやれ、とにかく金蔵の執念深いことと言ったら想像を絶する。あれに惚れられるのもなかなかに辛いものだぞ。
蝶になったお前を逃がさない方法？なんだよ、森全体に蚊帳でも張ったってのか？
Perhaps a mirror.
うん、それを魔法的に行ったのだ。そなたは知っておるか？船着き場の先の洋上に岩礁が浮かび、そこに小さな東洋魔術の祠があることを。
ああ、あれか。今年はなくなってたけどな。昔修験者が作ってったとかいう祠なんだろ。
六軒島は元来歪みのある島でございます。
Distortion.
魔力的な存在やそれに類した存在を引きつけます。お嬢様もそんなうちのお一人でございましょうね。紅茶のおかわりはいかがですか？
いただこうぞ。それらは人間たちに害をなし、おそらく数々の不気味なる伝承を残してきたであろう。それを聞きつけた東洋魔術師が古代に設けたのがあの祠なのだ。長い時間を経てその力は失われておった。金蔵はそれを修復することで島の結界をよみがえらせ、わらわを再び島に縛り付けたのだ。
西洋魔女のお前に東洋の魔法なんて通じるのかよ。
本来は相性が悪い。しかしわらわを封じたいという目的においてはある意味都合が良かっただろうな。わらわも西洋魔術であれば心得がある。どのような結界であっても何かの手が打てたであろう。しかし東洋魔術は専門外よ。わらわが飲まんとするスープに対しスプーンではなく箸を与えられたようなものだ。
東洋魔術が強く支配する空間では西洋魔術はひどく力を失います。ただでさえ1000日はかけたであろう力を取り戻す時間をさらにさらに長くかけねばならなかったのです。
Man, put it in perspective, it's the biggest discrepancy here is the 20 years versus 19 years. That's the biggest fucking discrepancy we have here, because Rosa said had to be 20 years ago. But yet we see in 1967, which was 19 years ago, Beatrice is alive, and she's talking to Kinzo. Maybe, just maybe, Kinzo just decided to start over. Not as a baby, of course, but as just a woman. Dressed her up as Beatrice once again to fulfill his, try to groom her once more within this cage. Hell, maybe the reason why he repaired the shrine is because he's that paranoid. I mean, he was always into the occult. He was just so paranoid, so unwilling to let go of Beatrice, so unwilling to let her go that he drove anything, absolutely anything, to keep her trapped on the single island. By repairing that shrine on the reef on Wokenjima, you know? And hell, maybe he went to Wokenjima in the first place because he worried about the legends of like, oh, Wokenjima is kind of a distortion within, you know, reality and magic.
それで約20年かけて魔力を取り戻し、今こうして蘇ったって言いたいのか
？20 years.
辛く長い年月であった。わらわは黄金の蝶の姿のまま長く日々を送り、金蔵の屋敷を見つけ、奴の日常を見守った。どのように仕返しをしてやろうか、それを思案することだけを日々の楽しみに生きてきた。わらわにとって幸運だったのは、その間の20年間、金蔵はわらわを探し出し、捕らえるあらゆる秘術にことごとく失敗した点だったか。人間に起こせる奇跡の数などたかが知れている。わらわをあれだけ長く捕らえていただけでも十分に身に過ぎた奇跡だ。そう何度も捕らえられてはたまらぬわ。
じいさまが前のゲームだかで言ってたな。魔法は確率的奇跡に宿るみたいなことをよ。
Yeah, probability.
金蔵はわらわを再び捕らえる秘術を探るうちにそこに行き着いたのだ。そして13人の生贄を捧げることでわらわを再び蘇らせる儀式をついに編み出したのだ。
13人の生贄。
それが魔女の碑文、生贄の歌でございます。第1の番に6人、第2の番に2人、そして第4の番から第8の番にかけて5人、合計13人の生贄を捧げる禁じられた儀式。その生贄はランダムに決められ、儀式を執り行う金蔵自身も例外にはなりません。
By the roulette.
バカ野郎。この島で起こったあの凄惨な殺人が全部おかしな儀式だっていうのかよ。
I had a vague idea that this might be the case, yeah. But I just couldn't hear that it was true from a witch and a demon and say, oh, will we, and accept it.
六軒島には18人いる。13人が生贄に捧げられ、5人だけが生き残る。
And we've seen how that's worked out for them in the last two games.
そしてわらわは蘇る。つまり、金蔵がわらわに再び会える確率は、だいたい3分の1といったところか。 その確率に自らの命を落とし、残りわずかな寿命の最後の一瞬にわらわとの再会を望んだのだ。
そのふざけた儀式のために俺たち親族が集められたってのかよ。
So I've said many times before, he's willing to sacrifice his family.
ふざけやがって。いい加減なことを抜かすんじゃね
もとより契約の通りだ。金蔵の生を終えるとき、貸し与えた黄金と、そして金蔵が生み出した財産のすべてを、わらは金蔵には散々に英雄を飲まされたが、今となってはこの1000年でも稀な時間だった。何しろ魔女の天敵は退屈よ。それから逃れることのできる数十年間を提供した金蔵には
Several decades, huh?
なるほど、それも含めて借りがあるやもしれぬ。わらわは金蔵のゲームに乗ることにした。そしてまず金蔵は後宮家当主の指輪をわらわに返却する。
Yep.
わらわの黄金で復興させた家だからな。そして13人の生贄を気まぐれに決めるのだ。そしてその過程でお前たちが右往左往し、わらわに立ち向かおうとさまざまな人間模様を見せてくれることはわらわにとって非常に愉快なことだ。わらわはこの金蔵のゲームを実に気に入っている。
ああそんな魔法話は絶対信じねえぞ。じゃあお前は誰なんだ。お前は崖から転落して死んだんだろうが。魂が抜け出して蝶になって森へ。
It's going to be, oh, God damn it, it's going to be like Rudolph, isn't it? That whole thing of like him saying I'm going to die tonight in the first episode, isn't it? That fucking detail of 19 versus 20 years. 19 versus 20. It's two different years. 1967 and 1966, god damn it.
そんなのあるわけねえだろうが。だがお前はここにいる。誰だってんだ。お前こそが19人目じゃねえのかよ。
そうであるな。わらわこそが19人目であろうな。だがダメだぜ。全然ダメだ。
Shut up. God damn it.
この六軒島に19人以上の人間は存在しない。
18 humans. You bitch. You bitch.
ってことは18人プラス X の X は存在しないってのかよ。
She worded it. 18 humans. Humans. God damn it.
俺が取ったコマ X は存在しないってのかよ。
Fuck. Oh, shut up, Warnoff.
そういうことになります。実にご愁傷様ですよ。しかしお嬢様は手がお早いですな。もう少し泳がせて最後にひっくり返すものとばかり思っておりました。さてバトラ様、紅茶のおかわりはもう結構ですか。
いらねえよチキショウ。俺は信じないぞ。18人の中に犯人がいるわけねえ。じゃあお前は何なんだよ。どうしてここにいるんだよ。19人目が存在しないってんならお前は18人の誰かの変装だって言うのかよ。
She said 18 humans. Battle where she said 18 humans.
そなたにとってしぶしぶとではあっても 18人の誰かを疑うことが最後の逃げ道、キャスリングとなるであろうな。しかしわらわはここからが難しいんだ。そなたはなりふりさえ捨てれば18人もの人間を自在に犯人に仕立て上げられる。その18人の駒をくぐり抜け、わらわを認めさせチェックメイトに至るのは実に難しいことよ。
そんなことするもんか。18人の誰も疑わない。疑いたくない。
God damn it.
またここに追い込まれちまったのか。畜生畜生畜生。
三度に及んだそなたとのゲームもいよいよ終盤戦のようではないか。もう逃げ場はないぞ。お前の大好きな18人を疑いたくないだろう。わらわがそれをかぶってやるぞ。なのになぜわらわを拒むのか。序盤は本のように、中盤は魔術師のように、そして終盤は機械のようにさせとな。これより詰めるぞ。ゆっくりじっくり確実にな。いや、それともそなたにふさわしく一気に畳みかけるのが良いのか。そなたにはそれが似合うだろう。そうしよう。すでにそなたの苦手とする攻め方も知り抜いておるわ。
Son of a bitch, man. There's only 18 humans. 18 humans. 18 fucking humans. Oh, here we go. Cannon within the servant room of Genji. Tick tock. Tick tock indeed. George and Shannon within the Bugaro. And thus the first twilight begins yet again. Klaus, Rudolph, Kyrie, Ava, Natsuhi, Adiroshi, Rosa, Goda, Kinzo, there's only 18 humans. Humans on the island. Holy shit. Midnight. We didn't see Kumasawa. Saw Genji. We didn't know Shannon. We know that. Oh, how the bell tolls. I think the only character we didn't see was Nanjo. 1986. So yeah, that'd be 1966. Had to be. Son of a bitch. God, we weren't so much this episode. Shit. Damn. Okay, so the only characters we didn't see throughout that little slideshow was Kumasawa, Nanjo. Kumasawa, Nanjo. We saw Genji, we saw Shannon, we saw Cannon, we saw... we don't know where Maria is. So Kumasawa, Nanjo, Maria. We don't know where she is. She's probably with her cousins, but did show us it, so who knows. Maria. Trying to think of any other characters. We saw Goda. Okay. So right now, at this particular moment, I'll probably figure it out like after this. By next episode or whatever. So right now, three characters are missing. Kumasawa, Nanjo, and Maria. We don't know their whereabouts, but holy shit. God, this is a thick fucking episode. We have a lot to think about and a lot to discuss at the beginning of the next episode. Because holy shit, there's only 18 people. There's no 19th human person. You know, she got around that fucking little hiccup. 18 humans. Shit, man, shit. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this type of content. If you did, hit that subscribe button. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you want to tell me something, put it down in the comments below. Want to check out our Discord server hang out in, or my Twitter, check subscribe below. And yeah, this has been Voidlego. I'll see you guys next time. See ya!